The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 453, being recorded on March the 25th, 2024. And one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walks Around. Today, I'm joined by my co-host from the West Coast, the best coast, the Gunny Chief, Henley Mayo is back. Welcome back, Henley. Welcome.
Hey, it's good to be back, man. Talking about games I've been playing this week. I'm really excited. Talk about some Dragon's Dogma 2.
That's right. And Mayo could not make it today, ladies and gentlemen, so he is not here. It's just the Gunny and Jesus show. Welcome to the Gunny and Jesus Hour, where we're going to talk about video games and stuff. As always, you can follow us on all the social media platforms. Find us as Horrible Gamers. You can also support the show by leaving us a review on Apple Podcast, rating us wherever you can rate us. 5 stars are appreciated, but whatever you want to leave, you go ahead and leave it. We get to see those reviews. I see them. I get an email and I see them when they get posted. So I appreciate the feedback, the criticism, and the praise. It's all welcome. And a big shout out to the people that support the show with the monies, like our friends over on patreon.com/horrible gamers that give us the monies every month. Big shout out to Jason Sams, Robert, Noble, Chad, Gunny, Dark Arisen Ruler over Edmund Dragonsbane Baby Mode. Wow.
Baby mode. The hell?
Fuck is that? Poor Chapu, Nipron, best HGP host ever, Evan Big Daddy Tanaka, all in big caps, big letters, and Bill Gardner, second of his name. Shout out to all of you for being Patreon machines. And yeah, what else? Big shout out to the intro music by Phantomenk. You can find his music on Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora Music, YouTube, wherever there's music, you probably can find it. You can also find our outro music, Broke for Free. It's the band. It is called Night Owl. You can find that in different places. So yeah, go find them, support them, whatever. Let's talk about video games, Kenny. What we've been playing. This week, I, of course, went into Battlefield. Season 7 is now started. Battlefield 2042 Season 7 is in full effect. I ended up buying the Battle Pass because I think this is the last Battle Pass for Battlefield that I'm going to buy. Based on the fact that, like, by the time this Battle Pass is over, it'll be like June. By then, I'll be playing other games. And I probably will move on from Battlefield, like, altogether at that point.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Unless they, like, somehow do some crazy shit for Season 8, I don't plan on buying it. So I used up whatever tokens I had left in my account, because I had a lot of tokens, like those gold coin things. I don't know how the hell I had so many. I never bought any, but I think it's because I bought the Ultimate Edition of the game when it first came out. I ended up getting like a lot of extras because they just didn't know what else to give you. So they gave you a bunch of fucking coins and battle passes. And then I completed like 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 4 battle passes or whatever. So I got a lot of coins for those. And then, so yeah, I had like 3,000 something coins, and I ended up spending like 2,200 on the battle pass. And when it first comes out, there's like a discount. So like if you buy it within 24 hours of it releasing, you get a discount on like the one that has like the tier skips. So I ended up getting that, and I skipped like 20 levels, and it was kind of cool because you got a lot of shit right off the bat. But yeah, it's cool, man. They added new weapons to the game, and stuff like that. I think they added maybe new jets to the game, or they're going to add new jets to the game. I don't know what they added a bunch of shit, but the new map, the one in Chile, is really cool. It's like for some reason, this map feels more like the old school maps in Battlefield 2042. When I'm talking about like the ones in the portal mode, where the destruction is more like noticeable. It's kind of everywhere, you know, like you can destroy a lot of things. Whereas, like, if you play on the 2042 maps, only some things can be destroyed. Only some parts of a building will crumble if you shoot at it with the tank. But this one, it seems like you could fucking level a building or take out most of the walls to expose people. And very well done. I like it. It's a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot of Breakthrough on that. So yeah, Battlefield 2042 Season 7 is now out.
I want to play that. Only because
I played it.
I mean, because there was like I haven't played it recently, but in some of the 2042 maps, I felt like, you know, especially if a tank came along, like yeah, I can kind of hide behind the wall. It was kind of nice that the building didn't crumble, so it was kind of an advantage in a way. But at the same time, it was kind of like, even though they were firing at it 6, 7 times, it was like, still can't get me. I'm still behind here, until fucking enemies, till they got out and came around and shot me. But yeah, I do want to play in something more destructible. Nice.
But yeah. So I had a lot of fun playing that. Besides that, though, I ended up playing some more games. Of course, I played some more Helldivers 2. And Helldivers 2 is still a lot of fun, man. I've been having a blast with it. So just trying to upgrade my ship to the max, where like the ship upgrades offer pretty cool things. Like a few of them relate to your stratagems. So actually, all of them relate mostly to your stratagems. But pretty much the ship upgrades, what they do is they reduce the cooldown times for like calling in airstrikes, or they speed up the deployment time of certain like airstrikes, or like dropping in guns that you need, or whatever. Like it'll speed all that stuff up. So I got my ship pretty upgraded, but I want to max it out, which is what I'm trying to do. But it is difficult because you got to play on the higher tier difficulty missions to get the super samples. If you guys remember, I was talking about those last week. And you really only get so many per mission. I think if you play level 8 or above, you might get like 8 to 12 samples per mission. But those are so hard, dude. I'm like talking like you don't really stand a chance, man. It's so fucking hard. So I've been kind of
Like, you got to
grinding
have a
away.
good team together.
Yes, you got to have a really good team,
Everybody communicating.
not really everybody communicating. You can play without talking to people. That's the cool thing about the game. It's very multiplayer friendly in that aspect, where you don't have to really ever talk to anyone. But it is very important to be able to have the same focus as a team. If you go in as a team that's trying to do like different things, and you guys split up in the beginning, you're all gonna die, and it's gonna just fuck everything up because you guys aren't sticking together. But if you guys go in as a team and kind of stick together and do the objectives together, whether it's all the secondary objectives or fighting the samples or the main objectives, whatever you do together, and it really helps when everyone's together, because you watch each other's backs. And I call it an airstrike, and I don't have any left. The guy next to me might have some left that can help us out in a pinch. So that's kind of the way that goes. In this last match that I was playing before I got on the show, it was pretty intense. We had the samples, and then we dropped them because the guy that was carrying them died, and then I died, and then I ended up getting on the mic and I told the guys, "Hey, man, we got to stop running. We got to turn around and fight these guys because we got to get these samples. Like, not getting out without these samples would be useless on this mission. Like this mission really relies on getting these fucking samples out of here. So whatever we do, we got to get these out." So we ended up fighting forever, dude. It was like an intense fight against the robots. We were taking out tanks and walkers and all kinds of shit. And we finally made it out last second. It was pretty good. Pulling in the extraction kind of took like a long time, took like 4 minutes. So it was a long extraction, a lot of defending, but we made it out, surprisingly. But yeah, I really enjoy the game a lot. It's a lot of fun, man. I fucking love Helldivers too. Can't say enough good things about it. And
especially when you want to upgrade your ship, and you're talking about that. It's right. It's that grind, right? But it's a fucking awesome grind to be able to keep playing it to upgrade your shit, get better.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And they keep switching the game up by introducing like new enemy types or new things going on in the universe of the map of the world or whatever, or the galaxy. They kind of switched it up. And when I'm talking about new enemy types, I don't mean like a whole new faction. I think that is coming eventually. But I think that what I mean by that is that like the enemies react, or like they act differently. Like, for example, like the other day, like about 2 weeks ago, the developer team or whatever, there was a guy in the developer team that I think he posted on Discord or Twitter, but he posted like a message saying like there's been rumors of a new enemy type being sighted at alien planets or whatever that we're fighting to liberate. Apparently they're flying around, but don't believe these rumors. These are just rumors. There's no such thing as a flying insect. Like, we all know insects don't fly. They're all on the ground. And then like the next day, they were like fucking flying bugs on the maps. We're like, what the fuck is that thing? And then he came out and he tweeted like, "Oh, there is in fact flying insects now. The enemy has developed the ability to fly, and we knew that they were going to do this all along." It was like fucking hella funny, dude, the way they do the announcements, because they make it like they're making like fun of themselves or whatever. They're like, "Oh no, like yeah, we knew this all along. This was going to happen. These guys know how to fly now. Like." Go get them! Spread democracy.
That was
like,
funny. I heard about that early last week.
Yeah.
Like that was hilarious how they put that out there.
Yeah,
Like, wait, insects don't fly, do they? Yeah, they do. They do now.
But yeah, the first time I saw them fucking flying fuckers, Leahy was with me, and he's like, "Yeah, man, these guys have been around for a little bit." I'm like, "I've never seen these fucking things before. Like, what the fuck do you mean?" And apparently, it was like a patch they did like secretly, and they added the motherfuckers in, and they'll fuck you up if you don't blow up their nest because they'll just keep spawning and they fly around. So now you got to deal with bugs on the ground and bugs flying above you trying to get you. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but fun game. Nevertheless, I have fun with it. So yeah, play a lot of Helldivers too. I'm trying to complete the whatever the battle pass type thing is.
Is there a paid one or a free one?
There's
Battle
three.
Pass?
There's two paid ones. There's a free one that you just get basically with the game, and when you complete that one, you get enough credits to buy one of the other ones. And then if you complete that, you'll have enough credits to buy the next one. You know what I mean? So right now there's two paid ones. One is called the Steel Veterans, and the other one's called I forget what the other one's called, like something Blade or something like that. Future Blade, Seismic Blade. I don't know what the hell it's called. It's called something like that. Something. I don't know what it's called, but it's like they offer like new armor sets, cosmetics, some of the cosmetics for like your background on your character. You can also have like a new cape, and then they do offer new weapons as well, and new grenades and stuff like that, and new like they're called boosters, and the boosters it's kind of like a perk besides the stratagem. So you pick 4 stratagems usually per mission, and then you add a booster, and the booster can be like different things. It'll be like, oh, this booster enhances the player's abilities on the team to take more damage, or this gives you more stamina regeneration, or this one, when you drop from the pod, you have full ammo on all your guns or whatever, so you have full ammo and full grenades. And the other one is like, oh, your UAV is more like zoomed out on your minimap, or whatever, when you pull it up, so you're able to see things better or whatever on the map. So yeah, there's that kind of stuff. And there's other ones as well that like offer different perks, but the perks apply to the whole team. So the goal of the thing there is to like each person brings a different type of ability, right? So each player kind of picks one, and then you guys all kind of go in with these different boosters on that'll give your team an advantage in the firefight against the enemy or whatever. But yeah, man, really cool game. Anyways, besides that though, I ended up playing some more Vampire Survivors. I've been playing on my phone. I've actually been playing kind of weirdly. It's through Steam Link through my iPhone. So I turn on my PC, I Steam Link it to my phone, and then I stream Vampire Survivors to my phone through Steam Link and play on my phone. You know what I mean?
No, I've not. But one thing I noticed, Jesus, I noticed it on my Steam Deck. And again, I'm not the most tech savvy especially when it comes to the PC for a lot of things, since I'm the Xbox guy. But like I noticed, I can do like on my Steam Deck, I can stream games, I guess, from my desktop.
Yeah.
Instead of actually just playing them natively. So, but I would have no idea how to actually do it from a phone. Do I have to fire up the game on the iOS App Store? Like, is that?
No. So when you launch Steam Link on your phone, it's an app. It'll let you control your PC through your phone. So you can see your library of games. Your computer is on, and you can actually see what's going on your phone on the computer. Like you could see it on the desktop. And it'll go from being like normal Steam mode to like that Steam big picture mode or whatever, like the console mode or whatever on there. It'll turn to that, and then from there you get to select what games you want to. You could play anything you have on your PC, and it'll just stream over to your phone from your PC. The upside there is you can play games from your PC on your phone or on like your Apple TV or your iPad. Downside is that it is streaming, so there is a little bit of input delay sometimes, and there is like the whole aspect of it's being streamed. So there's that lag there a little bit and that delay. But for Vampire Survivors, it works really good.
Okay, because I use the Steam app on my phone every so often, but
I tried it for Helldivers, but I didn't like it. It was too much lag. I needed to be precise on my shots, and
yeah,
the lag was killing me, so I couldn't do it. But I wouldn't play multiplayer games like that, but I would play Vampire Survivors or like any idle game, like any easy game on there, like that on my phone. It could be easily done. But yeah, and I'm still waiting on my fucking Steam Deck. I need to get that thing.
yeah. I
Man.
was going to ask you about that if you got that.
I still need to get that fucking thing. I keep telling my girlfriend have it fucking shipped, but she keeps lagging. Oh, so annoying. I gotta get on that, dude. I need it shipped up here. It's sitting down there doing nothing, collecting dust.
Just sitting in a box.
I told her by the time
It's
I
gonna
get it,
expire, Jesus, if you don't get it up here. Come on.
I told her by the time I get it, the new one will be out, and I won't even want it anymore. I'm just gonna get rid of it right away.
I can't remember. Did you get the OLED version, right?
Yeah, I got the OLED one. I think I got like the 1 terabyte one or something. Like, nice. I'm pretty sure like it's like the top one, dude. And
that's the one I get. Same one I got. Yeah.
And I just can't fucking use it, which is useless to me over there. But anyways, besides all that, I've been playing another game. It's a weird game. So it's an idle game. It's one of those idle games. Think cookie clicker, think adventure capitalist, think things like that, right? Where you're just watching the tickers go up and you click things and then it multiplies it, and you click things and you multiplies it. It's like that, but it's different. It's called Micro Civilization. So it starts off where it's just one screen. It's one screen, and you start off and like you spawn people in by clicking on the food thing, and then you click on the log thing, and they start building little huts. But then you realize, there's more to this game, because besides the clicking those two things to keep them populating and growing in population, you're also learning new tech. So it'll be like, learn like farming, learn how to plant seeds, learn how to like create a crop field. And then you do that, and then you start multiplying and start getting more food, and then the food will start going up by itself. And then the more people you have, the less food you have because you're fewer people, but then the more labor you can use to create more wood and stuff. And as that continues to go on and you're growing, you're trying to learn new tech. And then you're also trying to like do these missions that you send out like your people on missions, and you don't really lose people by sending out people on missions, but these missions create like a like if you click on a mission, it'll give you what the benefit of the mission is. It'll be like, this mission is to make this village of barbarians into a farmland. Like, we're going to turn this into farmland. You got to do this mission 4 times. When you complete it 4 times, it'll turn that area of the map into farmland, and that'll provide more food for your people. Problem is, though, Gunny, you have to do it 4 times, and each time it takes about 2 minutes for the timer to run down, right? During the timer running down, Gunny, you have a thing called like a risk meter, and it'll be like, by doing this, you're increasing the risk of like an event happening in your city by 20% or by 30% or by 40% or up to like 100% chance of something happening, right? Like, so it'll give you like the difficulty, how hard it is to do, and how much of a risk you're going to be taking by doing this mission. Once you complete the mission, it'll tell you like either you're going to go to war, so you're going to get attacked, or you'll get like whatever perk or whatever you get out of completing the thing. And then it's an idle clicker, but you're also like managing a lot of, it's an idle clicker, but not really, Gunny. It's more like a strategy thinking clicker. I don't know how to explain it.
You're playing this on Steam?
Yes.
But I swear that me and my son, he's played a lot of it. I thought he was playing it on the phone. So it might be a game similar to what you're talking about, or another version of it. And I gotta say, it's actually a pretty good game if we're talking about the same one.
I know it's really fun. I have a lot of fun with it. I'm looking for it on the phone. I don't see it on the phone.
No, it might be something else I'm thinking of.
It's an early access game on the PC, so I don't think it would be out on mobile yet because it's still early access. Now, the game did cost like $17, and that was even on sale, dude. I mean, I think regular price, the game is like $20 or something like that, or $19, which is very expensive, I think, for a game like this, right, where you're just clicking things. But once you start playing it, you start realizing it's not really about the clicking. It's about trying to advance your civilization far enough to learn more tech. And eventually you get to the point, Gunny, where you reach the end of the tech tree, right? But then it'll say something like ascend your civilization. And what happens then is you click on that and the game will say, are you sure you want to do this? Because once you do this, there's no going back. So what happens is it resets everything in the map. It like resets your screen, everything gets reset, but you get these points and these meters. And these points, what you could do with these points is you could spend these points to learn new tech. And so it'll open up a huge galaxy map. And then it'll have like all kinds of text. And then you're trying to go up this tree, like a huge tech tree. And then it'll be like unlock the I don't know, like think of like the medieval era or whatever, right? Unlock the golden age era, unlock the whatever era, like different eras and different industries. It'll be like unlock the war era, unlock this World War II tech, unlock fucking American technology, unlock whatever. Like it'll have like different techs you could unlock. And as the more techs you unlock, the more advanced your civilizations can be built as you reset them, right? Like you're trying to get them to reset to be better and better and better. I don't know what the end game is. I don't know what the fuck, like maybe it's like just trying to build the maximum civilization. I don't know what the whole point of the end game is, but I enjoy the getting there part of it. You know what I mean? Because you start off as like cavemen people and shit, kind of, and then it goes forward, and then the time keeps moving on and on and on, and the map will start changing based on what you're like clicking and what you're building and shit. It's very cool. Kind of, I like it. I mean, I don't know if I recommend it for the price though. It is fucking $17.
Yeah,
So
17.
this,
I just saw that on Steam, so not the game I was looking at. The one I was referring to was more of a top down, but that sounds cool
this
though.
like I said, this thing is it's very expensive kind of for what it is. But
Yeah.
if you're into strategy games and into clicker games like me, I guess this is the market they're targeting, and they kind of deliver for what they're doing. Now, some of the reviews say that people beat the game after like 25 hours. Some people say they beat it after 20 hours. To me, that's a long fucking time to be sitting here clicking things, right? But
You can
it's
just add a
kind of like
macro to your mouse, and just
you,
hover over it.
you can, but you can't
Is there
because
so
there's
is there at a point when you get to a point where you have to choose an option?
yes, there's lots of those, and there's lots of like that happens quite often. And there's points where you start getting attacked, and it'll like it'll be a bar on top of the screen, and it'll be like, oh, the Neolithic fucking revolution is going on right now, and it'll be like based on this, 5 different events can happen during this war. You have to beat the bar, like take the health meter all the way down before like it reaches the certain pinpoints on the bar, and because like it's like a ticker, it's kind of like ticking down slowly. But the more health you take away, the faster it goes down. And there's a timer. The timer is what hits these events. And some of these events will be like, oh, if it hits here, an explosion goes off and it kills 500 of your people. If it reaches to this one, another thing happens where like all your houses burn down. If you reach this one, uh, more people will die. If you reach this one, like it's just causing like extra damage every time the timer hits one of those things and during the battle. It'll do more damage, or a certain thing will happen in your map or your city or whatever, you know. So you're trying to like build an army and build a base to like block those, and like I said, there's a strategy to the game. It's not what you may think it is. It's not just a clicker, Gunny. You don't just sit there and click things. You're actually quite constantly making decisions and trying to like plan things and trying to kind of think ahead. You know, you're kind of thinking like, huh, what should I be like going towards? Should I be what tech should I be trying to research? What should I be having my people work on? Because you could switch what the people are working on. You can have them build huts, which provides housing for people. You can have them build an archery team or whatever, like bowmen or whatever. You can have them building a fort. You can have them building a granary station. You can have them building a windmill. So you can have them doing different things at different times. So the clicker thing is used that way, where you're flipping around what is being produced at certain times, right? I don't think the one thing you cannot flip though is the food, but the production side you can. So the food is always there. You always have to have the food going up to make sure that people live and have enough food. But the production is what switches up and down, and you can move it around to what you want it to be. Um, and there's like perks you can add to the thing too to like boost your stats. But some of the perks have negatives to them. So for example, they're called great leaders. and you can put these leaders up on like this thing to make it like what your kingdom is about. And like some of the leaders will say like if you pick this guy, your army has a 10% bonus on damage when they attack an enemy, but your food reserves will be depleted by 0.035 faster per second. So now you got to take that into account. So now you look at your food reserves and you're thinking, okay, I'm making +4 food right now. If I drop it down to 0.035, I'm down to 0.365 or whatever. What should I do? You know, so you're trying to think like how to offset that. Eventually, you can combine the leaders. Like you could because you have a bunch of them. You can combine them to make like another leader. So like if you combine a bunch of them, I don't know what you use. It's some sort of points that I don't know if I've gotten to them yet, but it's some sort of like currency in the game, like a point system or something that you use to combine the leaders. And based on the things that you put down there, like what leaders you're trying to combine, it'll create a new leader out of those leaders, you know? Maybe with like better stats or whatever is what you're hoping for, I think.
Can you speed the game up with a faster play, or is it just kind of run at one speed?
It runs at one speed, really. I don't think you can speed it up. The only boosts that I've seen are the like the clicker boost. Like there's boosts for like you can put shit to auto attack, you can put shit to like auto harvest, you can put things to like do automated things, and like you have workers that you can assign to different things and they'll just automate everything for you, you know what I mean? It's kind of like most clicker games where you have things that are automated and then you have things that you yourself are kind of focusing on, right? So if you don't want to focus on whatever, you can kind of just automate that part and then you focus your attention somewhere else while you know that that's kind of still going in the background at all times. You know, it's always just constantly going. But yeah, little game called Micro Civilization if you're into that type of stuff. And besides that, though, I did end up playing on the PlayStation 5. A brand new game just came out this week, Rise of Ronin. I ended up getting that. So yeah, man, this game, I don't know what to think of it. It's different, Gunny.
I haven't seen any real gameplay. I've just heard little tidbits from reviews and stuff. But
let me tell you.
But it's how? Yeah, I guess I want to hear more about it, like how it's Ghost of Tsushima-ish, or. But this is from the people that made.
No, Gunny, it's not
Team
Ghost
Ninja,
of Tsushima.
correct?
Yeah, what does Team Ninja do? I don't know what the fuck do they do.
They do Neo, and I forgot the name of the last game that they put on all platforms. I know one of them came to Game Pass, but I know they're a little hard for me, so a little tough.
Anyways, so this game is nothing like Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima was pretty simple in terms of getting into the action. It was Ghost of Tsushima was more like Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever. Is that what that game is called? Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah, that latest one just came to PC.
It was more like that, where you kind of get in on the action right away. This one is more like it's different. It's more stealth. It's more like one-on-one combat is more the thing on this one. Like there is enemies around that you could just fuck up, like a few of them at a time or whatever. Fight a few of them at a time, but it's most one-on-one combat style. And there is some tough enemies. Like the first boss you fight, he's not a slouch, dude. Like the first guy you go to assassinate is some captain of a U.S. He's like a U.S. captain or something of a ship, like a U.S. Navy captain. And you're a Japanese. You're like you're not a samurai. You are what the fuck do they call them? A shogun or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're not a samurai, but you're like a shogun, which is like a mix of a samurai and something else, like a ninja and a samurai mixed together or something. Like you are a samurai. You know the samurai shit, like the sword stuff, but you also use guns and shit. You know, so like you're both kind of, and you use stealth a lot too. Where samurais didn't give a fuck. They just kind of like said, fuck you, we're going to use our swords, and that's what we do. You know? This is more like, no, you're more like a stealth samurai. So there's that. So yeah, you're a shogun. You start off, and then game starts off where like it talks about how during the Tokugawa period in Japan, there was a lot of peace or whatever, because Tokugawa fucking sealed off the island to any foreigners. So like no outside trade, no outside visitors, no traveling outside of Japan, you know. So Japan just kind of stuck to itself for a long time. But during that time, a lot of people within the Tokugawa Empire or whatever were plotting against the emperor or whatever to like overthrow him. So a lot of little wars started, a lot of little battles and wars, and people started like trying to get clans to join together to go against the Tokugawa fucking empire and the family. And I don't know if you're part of the empire family or you're part of just like whoever. I don't know how that where we stand there yet. I haven't got to that part of the story, but you start off and you are a brother. I think a brother and a sister or something like that. The characters that I have are it's a male and a female, but I think you can make two females or two males if you wanted to. But you create a character, you create both of them. You can customize quite a bit of things on them, like their hair, their style, their look, whatever the fuck. And then they're called Blade Brothers or Blade. No, they're called Blade Twins. Is what they're called. And your Blade Twin is the person that's with you the whole game. And so you play as whichever one. You can switch between the two whenever. Even in the middle of combat, you can switch between the two. So, like, if you're fighting a guy and you want to switch over to the other one, you can during the middle of combat, and it just seamlessly will switch you over to the other one without like any hitches or anything. But the combat is very like one-on-one difficult combat. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this guy up, and just because I'm a badass, I could fuck a lot of people up. No, like, yeah, you are a badass, but these people will also put up a fight. Like, they're not just going to go down easily. So, like I said, the first guy I fought, the first big captain I fought, is pretty tough. The motherfucker killed me, like, at least twice, dude. Like, I struggled, man. Like, because he's, like, dodging your shit, and he has a gun. He pulls out, like, every so often. And then he does, like, these special moves that you got to, like, you got to counter at the perfect time. You got to hit the counter button at the perfect time, which is a very small window, dude. I'm talking like a fraction of a second. You have to hit the button exactly at that moment for you to counter his attack and stun him a little bit to be able to take him out or do damage to him. He has a huge health bar, and it's very different from, like, say, Ghost of Tsushima, where the enemies don't really have health bars.
So it's a Souls-like, right? I had forgotten about that this is Team Ninja, right? Neo and
yeah, it is. Yeah. So like they do have that shit too, where like every so often you'll run into this thing. It's called like a checkpoint. I don't know what they call it in the game. They call it something else, but it's like a little thing. You go up to it, and then you can, when you go up to it, it'll heal you up or whatever, right? It'll give you full health, and it'll restock your health potions or whatever. But it'll also say like, but be warned, like if you do this, all the enemies that you just cleared out in an area will respawn if you do this like checkpoint thing.
And I assume any like just like an Elden Ring or whatever else, does it clear out the boss, or does the kind of the I guess if it's a story boss, right, it would kind of they wouldn't come back.
No, I don't think the story bosses come back, but like all the other little enemies too. So
yeah, traditional, yeah, I mean, nice.
So it's like that. Yeah, pretty difficult, man. But what I'm not impressed with are the graphics. The graphics look very, I don't know. I mean, they look good at some points, right? Like some of the cutscenes are really cool and they look really good at some points. But some other points, I'm just like, what's going on here? Why does this look like almost like a PS3 game at times? You know, like it really does. I'm kind of shocked by how bad it looks sometimes. I'm like, this.
You know, I'll say this, Jesus. So I listen to this podcast sometimes. And so. And one of the things, like, he's always accused of being like a PlayStation fanboy or blah, 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 whatever. But I do kind of like his input on stuff, whether it's Microsoft or PC or Xbox. But even he was saying like, man, this game looks rough, like he goes, don't try to kill me. And, because remember, I'm the fanboy here. But he's like, yeah, it does look rough. He mentioned that too. Some of the PS3 graphics a little bit, some places. So he said the same exact thing as you did.
Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't look the greatest, man. There's, like I said, there's moments where I was like, ooh, this game looks kind of bad. Like, what the fuck's going on here? And, yeah, so I'm not really impressed with the graphics. The settings are pretty simple, nothing crazy. They have performance mode, whatever mode, like the ray tracing mode and the other mode, 4K fidelity mode or whatever the hell they call it. Pretty standard for the games nowadays, but I'm not impressed with it, man. Like I really was let down by purchasing this game, and yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna play it.
If I would have done more research and realized, Jesus, I probably could have told you like, oh shit, this is Neo and Wolong Final Destiny, whatever. That last game that they made, they put it on Xbox. I was like, holy crap, this game's tough. But this is a
Oh
Souls
my!
like. I
What
would have
am I
told you
just?
like,
I could
yeah.
have. I could easily just dumb it down to baby mode and fucking get through it to see what the story is. It might get better as the game continues. I don't know. Um, so far, not impressed though. Not impressed. Like the cutscenes are not very like the beginning cutscenes were cool, and then like the other ones were like, this is kind of boring. And then yeah, so some of it is cool, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I did end up buying the game that you're going to be talking about right now, Dragon's Dogma or whatever.
Ooh, yeah. Did you play the first one?
I didn't, but I did buy the second one. I bought it on the PlayStation 5 and I haven't even fired it up. I haven't even
Nice.
touched it.
Mayo bought it on PS5 as well.
Yeah, I didn't touch it, and I thought about refunding it, but I cannot refund it even if I wanted to
Why?
because I'm stuck with it. Like I apparently on PlayStation the rules are if you buy a game and you download it, you cannot refund it.
Yeah, I tried that with the last game I purchased, which was
I'm
that
like,
Welcome to Paradise game, but I thought I played less than 2 hours. I think
no,
I
they don't
forgot,
give
I
a
think the
fuck.
rule was 4 hours, but I got
No,
denied.
they have no rules. The rule is as long as you download it, you
Oh,
cannot return it.
yeah, I think Xbox was doing the same.
I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, because you download it, you cannot return it. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
0 hours
you,
played. Come on, right?
I haven't
God,
even
jeez.
launched. I haven't even launched it. And they're like, yeah, no, that's part of our policy. You cannot return anything. Like even if you didn't launch it, as long as you
I think
download it
you're gonna
onto your
like it,
console.
Jesus. I think you will
Yeah,
like the game. I've got some
I
good
think
things
so
to get
too.
you started.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, go ahead, talk to me about it because I don't know nothing about it. I don't want any spoilers. I just want to get into it, not knowing really
yeah,
anything.
I'm not gonna really give you any spoilers. I barely know any spoilers for the story as itself,
Okay.
because I played the first
Combat,
one.
combat, or story or whatever. Is this like an RPG compared to something that I know? Something
It's
that
an
I know, guys.
action RPG. Okay, so I think I was texting Vengeful Jedi today, and I was like, dude, like, fucking love this game. This is like it was just kind of my first thoughts, not so much about the game, but at the moment, it was like, what was the last Dragon Age? I think it was Origins. I felt like that was a good game. I think that was the last Dragon Age Bioware made. I never finished it. It's a big game, so it kind of reminded me of like a little bit of the Dragon Age Origins and The Witcher, a little bit of The Witcher, because this is like old English. Everybody's got an accent, and oh jolly, so right, and it's just like in castles and dragons, and yeah, it's a true action RPG, just like I would say, just like the last one. The last one, you figure that came out what 12 years ago. Um, and I'll preface this by saying, like, even on the first time I played it, right, I think I still have the disc in the jewel case for it for the 360. Where I'm like, yeah, I think I played that, Jesus. Then I played Skyrim but we're going back 10 years ago. So bought this game, GameStop, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna check out this fucking RPG game and see what it's all about. So, it was getting a lot of hype and stuff, and YouTube, I feel like, was still kind of a new thing at the time, and like, looks cool, I'm gonna play it. And I think one of the deciding factors for me, Jesus, when I first picked up Dragon's Dogma, the first one was I already knew that it had an easy mode. I don't know when they added it. Could have been a month later, 6 months later. And so as soon as that thing popped up on the screen, I was like, yeah, give me the fucking easy mode. Fuck yeah. So because I know I talked about this last week, where basically I did watch videos previously 10 years ago to say, okay, like, how do I play this game? Like, I want to be successful. I want to fucking level up and get the best armor and the biggest sword and, and have the best pawns in the game. And so one of the things Jesus was like, yeah, like, basically don't leave too far from the stronghold or don't venture out too far, because, you'll get wrecked, and don't go out at night or whatever, like, in the pitch black, even though you might have like torches. So the new game doesn't have torches. They do have the lanterns, by the way, and I believe they had it. You can obtain them in the first one, but here we go with the second one. So fire this up. What was it? I picked this up on Saturday. Bought it on the Xbox so me and Ryan can play. And I don't know if you ever played the first one. But so it doesn't have an easy mode. It's just, you just get in and basically you choose your class, right? So kind of a what it was like with the first one where you've got your kind of your fighter, your archer, mage, thief, sorcerer, right? So I believe the mage is the one that does like the healing. So I'm like, yeah, of course I need to have a healer. So
Okay.
which is cool, right? Because it kind of like what the mage does. I believe I have it right. It's probably the mage, not the sorcerer. But what they'll do is, I mean, obviously they're casting spells at the enemy, but at the same time, even if you're not requesting it, like they'll put out like a healing spell. So as long as you're within that circle, like your health will go back up.
Okay.
Um, so I had points for the last couple days where it was like let me get to two mages, I'll have two mages and yeah, and maybe and I always have an archer, right? I always make sure I have an archer. I don't know if that's like you have to do it. I think you could just fuck it, just do all warriors if you want to, right?
Yeah.
It's really up to you, but but of course they're going to get
How
enemies
do
from
you
further
switch
away.
out? How do you switch out the people? Is it like Baldur's Gate 3 where you go back to a camp and you select who you want with you, or what do you
Yeah,
do there?
so you arrive in this city, probably I'm gonna say 15 minutes into the game. What's the name of that city? It is called it is right here. I've got it here. Vernworth. So that's after like, it's like some cutscenes, and then you'll take an ox cart, which is kind of like a fast travel for like 100 gold, which you can
Okay.
travel back between cities, or you can run to the city if you want to, which I wouldn't suggest if you're a low level. So just pay the ox cart if you need to go back and finish a quest or whatever. So, but yeah, once you're there, and they've got them in all the cities, which are like these things of where you can get pawns. So, and that's what they're called, right? So as soon as you get there, I think they kind of give you like this default. You pick your main companion. I'll just call them companions, right? Your main pawn companion you pick first, and I think she's definitely like that's my mage. And then you pick the other three, of like you get to choose for whoever you want it to be, right? They could be warriors or fighters or archers, and then spread out throughout the map. There's also like different, like I'll just call them like different pawn portals or whatever they're actually called. You'll just see them. You'll kind of see them on the map, and you can go up and activate them, and it'll say, hey, like your party's full, but who do you want to trade out? And you just get to choose not between your main pawn, but the other two, right? So
Okay.
let's say that the two sorcerers are not working out or whatever, and you just want to be like, you know what, let's get me a thief, because the thief's going to be more nimble and faster, and it's got the daggers. But it's up to you to choose, and it doesn't. I don't feel like I've maybe one time, Jesus, in my playthrough of I don't know how many hours I have into it now, 15 or 20, where I felt like, oh, I can't afford it. Because then there's also where you'll see them walking on the road as well. They'll just kind of come up and say, hey, they'll just kind of interrupt you too. They're just like, hey, I'm pretty good at fighting. I think you want me on my team. And it might cost you 31 of those. I'll just call them pawn points or whatever. So I don't know how you actually obtain those. I think just through fighting and and it kind of auto levels up everybody.
Mhm.
Well, I think the pawns that you hire, they don't actually level. So I think that's the key right there, where they kind of want you to keep going back in and trading them out.
Okay.
So yeah, which is cool, right? I wasn't on board with that at first. I'm like, I like my party, I like my people of who I chose. But yeah, they don't level up with you. I think only your main pawn does. So yeah, you'll be
Mhm.
like level 13, and they'll be, level 6. You'll be like, wait, I need to trade these people out, get some higher levels. So, and it kind of does that, right? As you're like level 14, you go back in or let's say you're 17, you're going to find some 14s, 15s, and 16s in there. Just kind of automatic. It just kind of says, hey, these are kind of on par with kind of where you're at. So, um, and yeah, let's say if you go into those like pond rifts or whatever, and it even now has like a menu of like, okay, I want to see a detailed list of the archers. Okay, and then you can press on more details, and then they'll have like other things that they're enhancements or whatever, right? To say, oh yeah, this one's got the bone crusher skill or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. which is
Hmm.
pretty neat. So another thing with companions is like, especially with you and your main companion, like when you go to upgrade things,
Yeah.
like like your sword and your armor and stuff. But don't forget to also do the same for your main pawn. I kind of forgot about that at first because I kept thinking, why do I got shit like 1,400 points? That's a lot for me. Then I'm like, oh shoot, let me press right trigger, and get her equipped with skills. Because she'll just kind of do a default. He or she will do a default. So yeah, go in there and equip the skills. Yeah, increase, acquire other skills, stuff
Mhm.
like that. I haven't really. The one thing I haven't done is oh, I'm gonna buy you some better armor or you know, better stuff. Yeah, basically stuff like that. I'm like, nah, just wear what you are wearing right now. You're good. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, but yeah. So far, I'm having a blast with this. So, now I'm able to. But I'll back up a little bit. So at first I was like, this game's too hard. Like I keep dying, man. I kept like trying to figure out like, all right, I need to get back to. I either need to get to the next city. I've got enough gold to stay at an inn, which will
Mhm.
cost you 2,000 gold, by the way. Um, but I failed, Jesus. I was talking to Ghost Nico one night. I'm like, yeah, fuck. I think I'm gonna have to lose like an hour and a half of progress here. So be warned on that, people. One of the things I recommend is maybe not just like the first one, maybe not go out exploring or trying to be like, oh, this quest is way over here. Let me venture out, at level 3. Don't do it. So
Mhm.
I recommend, highly, highly recommend watching some of those YouTube videos. I found a really good one that doesn't so much talk about doing quests that are maybe near you. And I'll get to that in a second with quests that are near you, Jesus, because that's really what you want. You don't want to be like, I'm gonna go out here and die because there's only one save on consoles, right? So that's all you really get. Um,
Yeah.
and so when you go to load back up the game, right, once you die, it'll say, okay, load from last save, which you might think is like, oh, that's great. That's what I want to do. Well, shit. What if you're like at a point where it's, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's pitch black, you don't know where the hell you're at. Or I watched another video where he was behind like this invisible wall on top of a mountain, which I don't think is going to be a lot of people's scenario. But, and the other option is to go back to basically an inn, right? It's like that's going to be your checkpoint. Well, if you do that, which I did, I'm like, well, fine, fuck. I finally did. I was like, I'm just going to go back to the inn of where I was. Well, when I started from that location, Jesus, I realized like, oh, this is when I first fucking stayed at the inn. Like I did other shit after this. Like I went and spoke to quest givers. I upgraded an item. You know what I mean? It was like, damn it. I was so mad. But after that,
Mhm.
I watched some really good videos, just trying to teach me on stuff I can do in that first city I talked about, which is in Vernworth, that kind of helped me to really get going without venturing out too far because you'll just get frustrated. So, um, yeah. But anything else, Jesus, on that?
No, man, I
Yeah.
look forward to playing it. I'm excited to play it. So yeah, I'm going into it blind, so I have no idea what the fuck it's about, what the world is, or anything. I'm just going in blind, and I'm gonna check it out. I mean,
Nice.
I already have it. I already paid for it, I guess, so I might as well just play it.
Sweet.
So
But I'll,
yeah.
I'll say this about so I chose the fighter class, right? I'm like, fighter, hell yeah. And I'm like, when does like the warrior guy come out? You know what I'm thinking? So it did when you go to those places, it is called the what is it called? The vocations, right? Which isn't you can find it in Vernworth and there's a couple other cities I haven't even been to yet. So
Okay.
but I think there's only maybe just that's kind of the main place of where I'm at, where I can kind of find everything all in one little spot. It's not everything's super close. So over there at the vocations, like the vocations guild, I think it's actually called.
Mhm.
And that's where you can uh, acquire skills, change your skills, and also, like I said, you're going to change your class, right? Which is a vocation. So when I went back, and he was like, "Yeah. So now do you want to change it?" And I'm thinking like, well, not really, but I had forgotten this about the first game, Jesus, where yeah, I'm still a fighter, but I'm also now I want to change it to warrior, right? So now my warrior, like he went ahead and gave me new armor. I've got the two-handed sword. And yeah, so then now like I really can't take on like that regular sword anymore. I think it has to be like a two-handed kind of weapon. And I thought, oh shit, I'm gonna get wrecked, because this thing is really slow and clunky. But I had enough resources, and I feel like the resources too in this game, like they're plentiful, right? You might go out there and be like, what the hell? Like, I got a fang, I got a dried up spud in the freaking farm, like maybe you found like a piece of ore, but shit, that's kind of really all you need to kind of upgrade things really once, which you'll find pretty quickly. And anything else, I really don't know, Jesus, because I've just been going out and just collecting a lot of things. You can use your pawns to carry shit for you. So there's that too. And yeah, that two-handed sword is great, especially when you've got the mage with you, Jesus, because, or it could be the sorcerer. I could have those two confused, because you'll be out there, Jesus, and I'll be like, all right, I'm ready to fuck these guys up, whether they're small or, large enemies or whatever. And then your mage is like, I grant you ice damage. And it's like, hell yeah, right? Your sword kind of starts fucking glowing and you're just throwing out extra damage, And it's the best thing ever. That's what I love about it. Like, I think even audibly for me, where I'm like, I'll come down with that two-handed fucking sword, man. And he'll come down and he'll fucking take an enemy and he'll literally like throw him. Like he'll just ragdoll in the other direction. I'm like, damn, like that dude went flying, these little fucking enemies. So it's cool. I like it. Yeah. And there's items too you can grab, Jesus, that are like, even if you don't have your like a mage in there to heal you, you can always have items in your inventory. It's not like in a quick bar. You basically have to go in and hit, let me just go ahead and heal up of whatever health I can get. Yeah, but the list kind of opens up, Jesus. I was looking online, and anybody can just go on there and just kind of see what other vocations you can use as the game progresses on. So, and there's more in there that I kind of remember for the first one where I'm like, hell to the yeah, like I'm ready to, open up more shit. So I don't know if I can be like basically a warrior and be an archer. I don't know. I don't think that's the case, but yeah, I'm ready to find out more shit about this game. So hopefully all the stuff I loved about the first one. But as far as like the storyline goes, I think that's what everybody wants to hear is like, and I vaguely remember it like from the first one, but basically you are the arisen Jesus. And if there's just a lot of suspicion of like, oh, I hear that you might be the arisen, but nobody knows for sure, So I think that's really your goal to kind of find out, because you lost your memory after the first game, apparently, between there and now. Okay. So yeah, like the way the game kind of starts out and, how you end up there. And, I think you can kind of choose to say, yeah, no, I remember. Or yeah, I have no clue. Right. So,
okay.
I don't know if that has any impact on the story going forward.
Like, I have no clue what the hell is going on.
Yeah, just know that you are the arisen. That's pretty obvious fact in the game. So, but and as far as quests go, okay, I'll say this because one of the things I kept hearing in podcasts where the reviewers were talking about, like, oh, there's no question marks over people's heads, right? But they are kind of on the little mini map, I think, where it could be a quest, it could be just somebody talking to you, kind of giving you an idea of, something that's going to help you out in the world, but not really. It kind of reminds me of an Elden Ring sort of thing, right? Where I'm like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do, right? Like, is that like a quest? Is that something I'm just going to have to remember in the future? But yeah, going back to quests, I think I was telling Mayo in Discord was like, these quests are something else. You really need YouTube because, for example, where I go to see this guy, Jesus, and he's like, I'm not going to say like where and how and all this. He's like, yeah, I'll go with you. I'll go with you, but I need a place where I can gain more knowledge. How about that? Like I quench thirst for these basically more knowledge. I'm thinking like a library, like, do I got to find a library? And so it doesn't like nothing, Jesus. There was no like in some questions, there'll be like this yellow kind of thing over your mini map. Like, okay, you're kind of close to where you need to be. Right. you don't know what you're doing, but it'll be there. And there's even a thing for like you can click on more details, but to me it's not really much of a help. So yeah, I went to YouTube for a couple quests, and it's like, oh, so yeah, basically for this one, I know why you're here because it doesn't tell you where to go or what to do. You'll have to go do this other little mini quest, side quest, basically, to open up the ability for that first main quest that you were trying to work on, to actually be completed. I'm like, wow, I would have never known, So yeah, so that was like, oh, cool. So at least I got some of that done. The other thing, I would say that's more of I don't know if I just don't like it or that's just, yeah, because I don't know what's a main quest. I know what some of the side quests are, but what is even the main quest? I still don't know. I think maybe talking to kind of the head dude in Vernworth, I think he's got like 5 of them. So, and I've only done 1. So hopefully after I do the 5 for him, that will be, yeah, something more opens up. So it's kind of like, even for me, it's a mystery. So I'm almost like, yeah, this is cool. Like keep the mystery going. I don't want to know any spoilers myself. So, but yeah, this is something I'll be playing for at least another couple weeks. I think, hopefully I'll be able to finish it without too many spoilers itself. But there is one thing I've got here, Jesus, because I saw something about it on YouTube, and this is an article. I'm going to read this here without spoilers, hopefully. And so it's called Dragon's Plague, Jesus. And so they explain exactly what this is, but not really to me. I read the article, and I'm still a little clueless, but I feel it's important for you, Jesus, and everybody else here listening. And I feel like it's part of the game. And if I was to guess, it probably has some stuff to do with the end game, but this is something that can affect you early on. And now it's something I'm going to be looking out for. So Dragon's Plague. So let's see here. So one of the things it talks about is, okay, I'm not going to read this, Jesus, but okay. So they're talking about like when you recruit a pawn, right? From beyond the rift. So one of the things it talks about in there is be careful when somebody has like red eyes or something, right? So that could be an infected pawn. But not always, because they might say, well, they just made the color red, right? So there are other signs that you can watch out for. So if like, let's say there's other ailments, or if they're standing idle, they'll sometimes cough, spit, or have migraines, right? Where they have their hand on their head. Mm-hmm. And those migraines could last roughly 15 seconds, or, something that's going to be noticeable. So yeah. So what you want to do is, what I recommend and what the article recommends is get rid of them as soon as possible, because they can infect your other pawns. And it just ends up being a really bad. I read there all, I was like, holy crap. Like, I don't know. It just seems like, and then it just talked about like, well, if you're on PC, you're going to have multiple game saves because you can create that, right? Which is something like what I do probably in like Project Zomboid, right? So you go in and make a bunch of manual saves, right? Where you can't do that on console. So yeah, keep an eye out for the Dragon's Plague, because you don't want that other people getting infected, and I guess it does really affect your game. So I don't know. I would hope that, just my opinion here, like, can we maybe not do that for early game on console? I don't know. So because that seems like that'd be real shitty, if infects my other pawns. So I don't know. Or if it even affects the game, but seems like that'd be bad, I get 30, 40 hours into a fucking game, and I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it's part of the game. I don't know. I'm going to find out. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got on Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah.
So,
what else have you been playing, eh?
What else? Oh, I did fire up Call of Duty Warzone on mobile. I don't think I talked about it last week because it came out after the show. So when I saw that it was like, hey, available ready now, I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I went and grabbed the iPad Pro, the Xbox controller, and my glasses. And I'm like, everyone's getting wrecked because I am not an FPS player. But so when I fire this up, it's like, oh, hey, you can't use a controller yet. You have to learn the mobile controls, which are like, I hate that in a shooter. Yeah, up here is like tap, tap, tap for the shoot, and move your fingers around and fire out these bots. I did terrible, but I finished it. And it was only like maybe 3 minutes. Then it's like, cool, now you're into the game. Log in with your Activision ID and you're good to go. So yeah, did that. And then I think it. So when the game first came out, it was trios. I don't know if you could do single player now, but it's trios, and you're basically teamed up with two other. I want to say they're actual real players. At least I feel like they do, especially with the gamer tags that I saw or the Activision IDs. So yeah, it was cool. So we logged in. I was doing really good with the controller, man. I was like, fuck yeah, let me grab this fucking sniper rifle, get up on top of the roof, and see an enemy player coming in. And you could even like basically you'll put like a marker down, right? It'll say go here. So there is no like thing for enemies, right? But at least when I put that, I was hoping that my other teammates saw that, and they did, right? And we all just started firing on him, and then a couple headshots, that sniper rifle, he was gone. I don't know what the name of the map is. I don't know if it is like a part of Verdansk or not. So I did see an article today for bringing back one of the classic maps to mobile Warzone. So, but yeah, Jesus, in Warzone, you've got some long buildings, and it's not like they just have all kinds of entrances and exits to them, but the matches are so short where they'll even say like the circle's closing, and man, it really closes in really fast, and that gas comes in, and I haven't found a gas mask yet, but I feel like there was no time to run around the fucking building, like, either left or go right, to get out of the gas, and I ended up fucking dying of the gas. I was like, oh my God. So keep that in mind if you're going to play Warzone, man, like really keep an eye on where that circle's going to close, because you better start running for it right away, because it comes in super fast. And it even almost got me the second time. And I felt like the circle was not that small before, we all got a victory twice. So yeah, but yeah, I'm sure if you guys are playing, they're like, oh yeah, I learned it the first time. Like, this is not like a traditional, console PC game. Like, that thing is, you better just start as soon as you land, like just start finding guns and ammo and weapons and armor. You got to be quick. So, but other than that, I felt like the graphics, they were decent. Like, I didn't have any problem with it. It was a big size though. I don't know the size on it, but I did have to delete a bunch of cloud pictures on the iPad to actually fit it on there. So yeah, and you can, like I said, play with any controller or just use the old on-screen onboard controls. It's up to you. But yeah, I think Final Fantasy 14. I think that I talked about that last week. I think I played a little bit more, of that MMO after the show, and so able to log in, explore the city, level 4. Just completing some of the basic quests, and still. But I think I'm out of the tutorial now. But now the actual game is out of beta on Xbox, and now like into the full trial mode. So I think the next time I fire it up, it's going to tell me like, all right, I assume it has 30 days is what it is. So I think that's the Xbox. I don't know if that's part of Game Pass or just anybody can play it on Xbox, but I think, yeah, so probably just basic Game Pass of whatever the goal people were still get to play this. And I don't know, Jesus, this is like, if you go on Steam, it's a $20 game. So I assume that after the 30 days, we have to pay the $20, which I don't think is that bad, right? If you've been playing it for 30 days, you're better might as well just pay the $20. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It was just something new and fresh to me, to kind of be like, how's an MMO playing out these days in the Final Fantasy world? So it's my first one. And yeah, that's pretty much all I played on there. Steam Deck has just been more, that's just been my game for what the hell I've been playing on there. I totally forgot, but yeah, that's all I've really been playing, Jesus. For me.
All right.
Just my smaller games on there.
Well, Gunny, you know what time it is.
News time.
It's news time.
Beep, 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 beep.
No, we're not going to talk about the news going on around the world, except hopefully P. Diddy gets caught.
P. Diddy, what's going on with P. Diddy?
He got his house raided today,
and then
now they say his jet is in somewhere in the Caribbean.
Hey, because I know. So for the listeners on the show, before we started recording, I was looking on Twitter, like P Diddy left the country. Well, he left the. I guess. Well, that's funny. Okay, if they said he left the U.S., then doesn't that mean they know where he's going? So was he on his private jet?
No one
It
knows.
had to be the case, right? Because the TSA would have stopped him immediately.
Well, that's what they say. They don't know if he was on the jet or not, or if the jet just got sent there for some reason.
Oh, right. The jet could have left. He could be in L.A. somewhere, San Diego, wherever he lives.
Miami.
Ah, okay. He's on the East Coast.
He had a house in L.A. too. I think
That's the footage I saw where they were arresting his son.
Yeah, I think they raided his house in L.A. and the one in Miami, and then we'll see what happens.
GTA style, baby.
But a lot of allegations have come up against him of doing weird, crazy, fucking sex cult shit. It's fucked up. But
Trafficking.
moving on to some video game news, Xbox is now prototyping a native Xbox handheld. According to Jess Corden, who is a host on the Xbox 2 podcast, he said that they have got a handheld prototypes, and they're new prototypes, and there's that. So we'll see what happens. Just Corden.
Yeah. How many times have we brought it up here? I mean, let's just think, Jesus, in the last 10 years, right? How many times an article like this at least pops up at least once a year or once every 2 years?
I mean, they could be always prototyping new handhelds.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they made like a tablet, like their
like their Surface.
Their Surface, and they thought, well, it's gonna install games natively. Now we're gonna make a handheld thing like the Switch, right? Which I remember that even coming up after the Wii U. Like Xbox is making a Wii U style type device, but it'll be an Xbox One. I remember that, right? That's kind of when they first started, but Xbox, that is. So it's been a thing for the last 10 years. But I don't know. I would think more than now, though, Jesus, more than now, right? With the MSI Claw and the Steam Deck and other companies just pop these things out. So it's definitely time for it's a handheld time. I think they're popular and Nintendo sold over 100 million units. So why not?
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm sure they're prototyping some. There's always prototypes for shit, man. Like shit that never comes out. So yeah, they're probably testing it. Will we ever see it? Who knows?
I'm sure they also tested a VR headset and went, no,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna work.
They probably had a test. Yeah, they probably had one, right? It was
probably like, can we sell this for $800? No, people won't buy it. Okay.
People don't even buy our Xboxes. People don't even buy our Xboxes. Why the fuck should
we? Right. Why would they buy our fucking VR? Yeah.
So yeah, in other news, publishers are now worried about supporting Xbox moving forward. Third-party publishers are now second-guessing their continued support of Xbox consoles moving forward, according to a new report from the head of GamesIndustry.biz. Okay? So he was at last week's GDC, which is the Game Developer Conference, and he said, he heard it from a very prominent company and one not so prominent, that Xbox's performance in Europe was just flatlining. And he continued, you can follow our monthly coverage in the games market and you can see that Xbox sales are falling. And it's been falling all throughout last year, and it's fallen even harder this year. The phrase one major company who released a big game last year said was, I don't know why we bothered supporting them. Wow.
Damn.
Right.
I mean, that's something I've even thought of. I don't know how that works, right?
Also, it was mentioned that third-party publishers now view the market as a PC and a PS5 market. Yikes. Xbox. That's sad, man. Like, what does Xbox do, man? I mean, I guess that's what happens when you buy out a bunch of the third-party guys, right? Like, you now own them. But at the same time, like, what do you do in that situation? I mean, I don't know I don't even know what they can do at this point. Like I said, I guess the best way to start boosting sales on your system is to start releasing really good games that are exclusive to your system.
That's what I say. I mean, that's what I still stand kind of by that. I'm not angry or upset, that they're, putting Sea of Thieves on PlayStation 5, but at the same, I really like, hey, they want to do that, right? Even though it's 3 years later or whatever the case might be. But yeah, like you just got to start putting out good games and people will come buy your system. That's just simple
It's kind
math,
of
right?
how it works, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's exactly how, I mean, look at the Switch, right? Or PS5. Yeah. They got great games. That's why people come over there.
yeah. I mean, that's how they got other people to go to. Well, PS4 was cheaper than they just fucked up the Xbox One so bad, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it was. They just screwed up so
That
bad on
was
that
terrible.
launch. That has to be probably the worst launch of a new console ever, right? In terms of like just marketing what they did and how they fucked it all up, dude. Like you go from being the top dog to like third place in a matter of like months because
Yeah.
you screwed up the marketing so bad on it that like you couldn't recover that fast.
Right. And also feel like, I've always said this, and you've said what you've said before, Jesus, where it's like even during that Xbox One launch era, that's when PlayStation took over the rights for the Call of Duty stuff. I feel
Yep,
like, to me, I feel like that's huge, right?
that was
That's
huge.
fucking huge because how many people play Call of Duty, right? And I'm telling you, I've talked to people for the last 6, 7 years and are like, Call of Duty's on Xbox? I'm like, yeah, it always has been, right? Where that's the thing, right? When you have like the marketing rights to that game, my gosh, because Xbox had it for 8 years
Yeah,
or
Xbox
longer. I don't
had
know,
it.
8 years that I
Xbox
know of.
had Xbox had it for a long time, right? On the whole, pretty much the whole 360 era, right? That whole
Yeah,
generation they had
right.
it,
You
and
put it
then
on billboards and everywhere, right? And played on
everywhere was.
Xbox,
I
right?
mean,
So
Xbox and Call of Duty was synonymous with each other, right? I remember playing Call of Duty on the PlayStation at the time, like on the PS3, and thinking, man, this doesn't feel as good as the Xbox. Like the Xbox just had it, man. They just had it going on, even though at that time the online for PlayStation was free, right? Like you could play for free online without the PS Plus.
yeah, but you had to
And
wait 2 weeks for the new maps on PlayStation, and they
yep,
were salty. They were like, "Fuck
yep.
you,
No,
Activision for selling
back
out."
then, back then you had to wait a month for the maps to come out.
No, I thought it was 2 weeks.
No, it was a month, dude.
That's a long time, right? That's such a
That's a
long time.
long time in the gaming world. That is a huge long time. And then, but like I said, when it switched over to the PlayStation having them, and guess who was waiting a month to get it? The Xbox
Yeah.
people were waiting a month to get the maps. So it
Right.
kind
And
of like
then,
flipped.
yeah. And then Destiny came out and they were like, guess
Yeah.
what? PlayStation is going to get early stuff on the PS4.
Yep. Then they got locked in too. So yeah, I mean, they really killed it with the PlayStation 4. Like they knew what the fuck they were doing, and they ticked all the boxes, man. And
Yeah, they did.
Xbox just kind of fucked up. They just didn't know what to do. They had their stupid fucking idea with the TV stuff. They had Quantum Break, which didn't do that good. Then they had Crackdown 3, which was a major flop. Then they
The
had
one
what?
the
They had
one thing I always think of, Jesus, and I think Ryan McCaffrey always brings this up on his podcast, not always on his podcast, but the one of the things he mentions all the time is like how I think even the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X, right? This new console that we have now, like there's never been like a real Halo launch, like a new Halo has never launched with any of the last two consoles, but yeah, it's like I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like they probably should have, Maybe they did it with the Gears of War, but yeah, should have probably launched with their kind of their flagship series. So that would have helped.
yeah. The one game that Xbox had that was fucking cool as shit was Titanfall. But even Titanfall didn't do that good because guess what? Not enough people on Xbox sell enough copies of it to justify it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And that was timed. I forgot how long that was timed for.
no, Titanfall 1 was
Oh, that's
completely
right. That was
exclusive.
exclusive. Yeah. It was Titanfall
It
2, right? I think it was
never,
even
yeah.
timed. I think.
No, Titanfall 2 came out on everything at once.
Okay.
But can you imagine how much more like players Titanfall would have if Titanfall would have just came out on everything the same day? Like if the first game would have came out on everything the same day.
Yeah.
If it would have came out on PlayStation and Xbox and PC on the same day, that game would be huge. I think it would be almost as big as Call of Duty, I think.
Yeah.
I really do. I really think that Titanfall had they had the stuff, man. It had everything. It had the cool mechs. It had the movement. It had like everything. The gunplay felt really good. Everything was really good about that game, and they just kind of fucked it up when going exclusive.
Yeah.
That really, I mean, they probably got paid a pretty good amount of money, right, by Microsoft to make it
Oh yeah,
exclusive.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But I guarantee in the long term, Vince is probably thinking, "Man, why did we fuck that up? Like we could have had the Call of Duty killer. They
Yeah.
could have."
And then Vince was going up against his, I think even with Titanfall 2, right? Even being owned by EA when they went up against their own they were even owned by EA at the point. What game did they go up against, Jesus? They released on the same day?
Battlefield? No,
Yeah.
they didn't release on the same day. So what happened was Call of Duty released 1 week, and then the very next week, Titanfall released right after Call of Duty. No.
It was Battlefield, wasn't it? It was two EA games on the same day.
No. It was either Call of Duty released 1 week, then Titanfall, then Battlefield, or it was backwards where Battlefield released 1 week, Titanfall released the second week, and then Call of Duty came out the third week. So in between those three shooters, what do you think people are buying? They're buying Battlefield and Call of Duty, and nobody's buying Titanfall, right? Because you're asking people to spend $180 on shooter games where they all require a lot of your time. They all require you to play a lot of the game to level up. You cannot be playing 3 different games to level up. Maybe 2 you can juggle between the 2, but 3, you're asking too much of the people, man. So yeah, they fucked that up too. That was a big fuck up. They could have released Titanfall 2 in like March of the year after or something, and when there's no other shooters near it, just fucking release it in the middle of spring, dude. Like, why release it right next to Call of Duty and Battlefield? oh yeah, we got Battlefield and then we got Titanfall and then we have Call of Duty right after that. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell were you thinking, man? But yeah, besides that though, Mass Effect 5, okay? Mass Effect 5. Late last year, BioWare published a series of cryptic messages and a super short teaser trailer that was released in segments, showcasing, well, not a lot, but it was still exciting for fans of the legendary sci-fi franchises. Following the woeful release of Mass Effect Andromeda in 2017, fans are understandably apprehensive about the final shape of Mass Effect 5, especially since it was impacted by recent delays that also pushed back Dragon Age Dreadwolf. On Twitter, Mass Effect 5's project director Michael Gamble recently posted a message in response to a particular comment that would help set your mind at ease, Gunny. On Twitter, one user commented on the Mass Effect 5 leadership team, stressing that almost the entire thing is made up of original trilogy veteran devs. But some users were doubtful by way of response. Michael Gamble stepped up and confirmed that the executive producer, art director, creative director, and game director are all veterans of the OG trilogy. So there's that.
That's good.
So yeah, I mean, OG trilogy guys, get them in there. Hopefully they can not fuck this up. What do you think happens to Mass Effect if they like somehow messed up this thing? Like, what do you think will happen?
I think that so this is BioWare, right? This is not the same as like the last Star Wars that came out, which I never played, and I know that was like a buggy at launch or whatever. So BioWare, and I'm thinking like, so it's a different team than Andromeda. I think it'll come out a little broken. Just saying, right? I think it'll just be like have performance issues, but not, I don't know, maybe not game breaking or whatever. So just like all the other games that come out these days.
But what happens if they like release this game and nobody likes it?
Yeah, that would be an issue. I don't know, because it's going to be existing franchise. Everybody loved, come on, 1, 2, and 3 for the fans out there. Even the Andromeda fans. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. So I want to know more about it. So even though I never really played Andromeda, I know you did, Jesus, but yeah, I think I played it on a bad TV or something at the time. So I don't know. What do you think, Jesus? What do you think it's going to be? How's it going to come out?
I don't know, man. That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I personally enjoyed a lot of Andromeda. I did like it. It felt Mass Effect-y, but if people don't react like EA wants them to Mass Effect 5 whenever it does come, I think the franchise is dead.
Yeah.
I think EA will not release another Mass Effect after that. I think they legit will say like this is it. Like we will not do it again. Like
Yeah, I want to know who's
at
writing
all.
it. That's probably one of the keys to it as well. Who's writing the story?
Yeah, it has to be.
Who's the lead
But like,
writer?
what's the story going to be? I don't mean, what can you make the story of, right? Like, how can you make it more epic than the story of the trilogy, where you have this guy who became the first, whatever the fuck they were called. What are they called? The people, the Mass Effect guy. What the fuck was he called? Commander Shepard. What was he? He was I know in Andromeda you're a Pathfinder. What the fuck are they in Mass Effect, the first one?
What are you? I don't know. The Explorer. I have no idea what you are.
No, man. What are they
This,
called, Gunny?
I know what you're saying. I can't think of what it is.
What the fuck are they? I don't even know what the fuck they're called. I don't know what they're called.
I know. I'm over
Um,
here googling it. Like,
I don't know what
yeah.
they're called.
Uh, Basically, he's a Spectre.
There, yes.
Yeah.
Spectre, yes, you're Spectre. Like, what do you
Right. I
do?
was thinking of that too as you're creating your
In
class, and yeah.
the first game, you're a Spectre, and like the first human Spectre person or whatever, like ever in the history of ever. How do you follow that up? Do you just, I guess, does the game now take place after the events of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3? Like, I guess that's the logical way to do it, right? To continue having you be a Spectre, they could be like, all right, this takes place, I don't know, 100 years after the Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 thing happened. This takes place in this era now. And now the Reapers are back. Or what's bigger than the Reapers? I don't know. Like, make up a new enemy, right?
Yeah.
Be like, oh, these guys, you thought the Reapers were bad.
Right.
Well,
That's what it's going
these
to be.
guys,
Yeah.
these guys created the Reapers.
They own the Reapers,
Yeah,
man.
that was their dog. That was like their pet dog or whatever. These guys are worse. They're super worse. They're so much worse than the Reaper guys. Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be, I don't know, right? Because you've got the Andromeda Galaxy. I think there's just going to be a lot of that too, right? Talking about, Reapers, Andromeda Galaxy, and yeah, in whatever fucking new
Yeah.
galaxy you're in.
Like, you know what? They should do something like that where like they have the people from the Andromeda place send a message backwards in time to the Earth people somehow. And they'll be like, hey, we're receiving this message from this thing called the Pathfinder from the Andromeda Galaxy. And they're saying that we can't go there because there's a fucking enemy there of some type. And they're coming here or whatever. And they destroyed the Andromeda Galaxy. And then they could show the galaxy, the galaxy map. And it shows the Andromeda Galaxy blows up or something. And it disappears off the fucking universe. And it's like, what happened to the Andromeda Galaxy? It blew up, Gunny. It blew up. They're all dead. They're all gone. It's gone. It's dead.
Right. But we won't see it for 50 years, right?
Yeah,
But we just
these-
know it's going to happen through this.
these things are coming this way. What's happening? They're destroying. They're galaxy destroyers. What's going on? And boom, we're already made a cool story for you, EA. Come on, man, just continue that. Like, if you want to kill off the Andromeda game, just say like that galaxy got destroyed or something. Like, well, that Pathfinder guy sent us a message back, and he said that the galaxy is fucked. To never go to the Andromeda Galaxy because it is fucked up over there. And boom.
Stay in the Milky Way. Go the opposite direction. I don't know.
Go the other way. Yeah, go the other way, guys. Run. Get the fuck away from here. I don't know what the fuck they could do. Anyways, in other news, Sony's Bend Studio in Oregon, the developer of Days Gone and the creator of Siphon Filter franchise, is now working on a game behind closed doors that the world knows very little about. There have been tidbits of information surfaced in the form of rumors over the years, such as the claims that the in-development title is being built with Guerrilla's Decima engine, but there's almost nothing concrete. Recently, a job listing surfaced online that made numerous references to a live service game being developed at the Bend Studio. So, currently there's a vacancy at the studio for a lead project manager, and Bend is asking that their experience in the realms of live service titles. It says here, Days Gone was released in 2019, but it wasn't to an overwhelmingly positive reception. The open world zombie title was plagued with issues, which Bend mostly addressed in post-launch patches, but it was enough to mar the game. Regardless, fans of the title have been hurting for the follow-up title ever since, but it's becoming increasingly obvious that this will never happen. In September of 2023, Bend Studio made a reference on social media to a Siphon Filter So this is a series that's pretty legendary in PlayStation,
Yeah, I
and
played
it's
it.
been around,
I
but
think it was on
hasn't been
PlayStation
around.
1.
Yeah, but it says it
That's
hasn't
where I
been
played it.
around since 2007. So it says here. So yeah, apparently the next game might be an online live service title. What the fuck could they be making, Gunny? What could they be making? An
Probably I'm going to say like a 4-player co-op game, you think?
Nah, I'm tired of live service games. Don't make it, Bend. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go knock on their door. I'm gonna drive down there, Gunny, to Bend, and I'm gonna knock on their door. And I'm like, hey guys, whatever you're making this live service, just don't do it. You guys don't do it. You guys are gonna shut down the studio. You guys are all gonna get
Yeah.
fired.
But
You guys,
Sony's making them do it, right? I'm sure they want a Days Gone 2 like we do. But Sony's like, no, live service is the way to go because if the game's a hit, we're gonna make boatload of cash.
a fucking $1 billion, a billion, gajillion, million, trillion, billion, zillion dollars.
Right? Because that's what the CEO from Japan said. Like, live service games are the thing. You know, it could be a win or a lose, but if we win big. So
It's like
I
gambling.
get it, right? When you're after the cash, I don't agree with it.
It's like gambling, but with like people's lives, because
Pretty much, yeah.
you just
Yeah.
fire them all. You just fire them all. Red fellas, well, guys, we're gonna take a big gamble here, but if we fucking fail right now and the
Yeah.
house wins, you're all fired, all of you. I mean, we're gonna keep like 2 guys out of all of you, and the rest of you are fired. Sorry to let you know this, but like that's the case. You
Right.
know?
I'm going to speak for like probably a lot of people here. I hope that, but it's my opinion. And I know I've heard it elsewhere. And that is like, you know, Sony's makes great single player games, right? It's like just kind of stay out of the live service thing, right? Let's do something third party, like kind of let them explore the whole live service thing, instead of
I mean,
first party.
Helldivers did good for them, but
Exactly. Good. There's a good example right there.
that's a third party studio that they just kind of give them money to.
Yeah, we'll
make
publish
exclusive.
it, but yeah, you guys make it.
Yeah,
Do what you're good at, right?
yeah. I don't know. So, anyways, besides that, if you are a PlayStation fan, guys, okay, if you're a PlayStation fan, you may know that Jim Ryan's 30-year tenure at PlayStation is coming to an end this month. But PS5 players can secure a piece of history by acquiring the man himself in bobblehead form. Through the PlayStation Stars feature, gamers can pick up a lasting tribute to the age-old executive who is retiring from PlayStation and moving on. If you want to give a fond farewell to Jim Ryan and unlock this bobblehead, you simply need to play one of the games that were created during his tenure. So here's that. So it says here, help us celebrate Jim Ryan's 30 years at PlayStation by playing any one of the many impressive games he championed as CEO and get a special digital collectible. And you get a Jim Ryan bobblehead. Yeah.
Nice. Can I play Spider-Man and get that?
Oh, so let me give you the list of games that you need to play, or at least one of them, or whatever, to play to get this Jim Ryan digital bobblehead. Okay, and you can play Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart, Destiny 2, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, Yes Gunny, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and The Last of Us Part 2. And that PlayStation Stars is like that. It's like a rewards thing. It's almost like Microsoft points or whatever, but it's only for PlayStation itself. Like it's not it's just a PlayStation thing. Like Microsoft uses theirs for like internet and everything, right? Like Microsoft Rewards is for everything.
Which kind of went away on the. Yeah, I think that's going away as well. I didn't have any news for it,
but this one, it's only for PlayStation or whatever. So there's that. What else? What else? In other news, we wanted more news in the real world kind of news, I guess. Okay. As part of Ukraine's ongoing effort to combat Russian disinformation and memorialize their own history, the United 24 charity has teamed up with Minecraft creator Endora for Mindsalt, a recreation of 16 real-world locations from the town of Soledar, at one time home to the largest salt production facility in Europe. Soledar was the focal point of a months-long battle following the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which ultimately ended with the town's occupation by Russian forces in January of 2023. It was almost entirely destroyed in the fighting, and what's left is cut off from the rest of the world, which is one of the reasons United 24 chose to do this project. As the city is under temporary occupation, mine salt is the only way to explore the incredible beauty of these salt mines and commemorate the historical and monumental elements of this place, United 24 coordinator Yaroslava Gress said. It preserves its memory, paying tribute to the people who have worked there generation after generation. Because access to Solidar's archives were also lost during the invasion, the Mine Salt team interviewed miners and made new archives from their memories, personal photos, and videos in order to assist with the development of this. They also enlisted the help of Stepan Brandrisky, a 10-year veteran of the Solidar salt mines, to ensure the Minecraft recreations are as accurate as possible. So there's that. And I mean, looking at some of these photos that they've recreated the thing with, it's pretty close to what the buildings kind of look like. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, it's Minecraft, so like you got to take that with like knowing that Minecraft is more blocky, and if buildings have certain angles, it's kind of hard to do that on Minecraft. But during this, if you choose to play this experience, will include interactions with famous Ukrainians and world celebrities, included Richard Branson, Misha Collins, Scott Kelly, and Catherine Winnick, who will reveal more about the history of the town and its famous mines. But it's not just a sightseeing tour. Players who collect crystals in the fastest time and then answer a 3-question quiz will be eligible to win an Xbox Series X console and packs of the Solidarity Ukrainian Rock Solid Strength Salt. So there's that. That's like a competition too, I guess.
Nice. I
Yeah,
wonder
man.
I wonder if you do that through the Realms, like which is basically on their servers, or this is through
I'm
somebody else.
assuming. Oh, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't
be
know.
interesting to know. But Jesus, I just want to clarify. I said something here a minute ago about Xbox's rewards program, but basically they're being nerfed, not cut out or whatever. So you don't get as many rewards with the new Xbox Rewards Hub rollout as
Yeah.
you used to before. I think that was what through like go to Bing and search 15 times, other things. So I don't have any details on it, but yeah, we don't get as many points as we used to. Which
Mm.
I've noticed too, even purchasing Dragon's Dogma 2 and another game I purchased yesterday. So, like, basically I'm now getting like notifications on through my Xbox, like, hey, you're getting pretty close to $1.25 rewards program. Like, yeah,
Mm.
that was never a thing before. Just kind of let you know, like, you're still progressing very slowly.
Yeah.
Still gonna be
In
around.
other news, let's see more news. More news. Bethesda teases The Elder Scrolls 6 in an anniversary message and brags its developers are already playing early builds and loving it. We're at the 30th anniversary of The Elder Scrolls Arena, the game that started it all. So, of course, The Elder Scrolls Arena is the first game in one of the biggest and best RPG series of all time. And to mark the big birthday, Bethesda Softworks has shared a message looking back on that long history and teasing what's ahead, of course, being Elder Scrolls 6. Says here, many hundreds of developers have spent time on the Elder Scrolls over these 30 years. As the series has grown, so have we. Still to this day, each chapter has aimed to let all of us live another life in another world. That's what Bethesda said. So there's that. I don't
Awesomeness.
know.
Yeah, Arena. I didn't know that was their first one. Maybe because it's not on console, it's probably just on Steam or on a website or something. They're
PC,
launching,
man.
I would assume.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it was Arena, then Daggerfall came out, and then Morrowind, then Oblivion, then Skyrim,
I played
uh,
Oblivion on
and then
Xbox.
of course, the ESO. But I don't think that's really considered part of the
Yeah, I
like
didn't see
the
it mentioned anywhere in
universe.
the article about it being part of it,
I
even
don't
though it
think.
is part
I
of it.
mean, it is right because it's a online version of it. I guess it's an MMO of it, but
Not part of the series, yeah.
it's not part of like the story or the series or whatever. But man,
It kind of has its own story, yeah.
Skyrim is one of those games I'm always tempted to just go back and play, especially because it looks so good nowadays, dude. Like even to right now, to this day, it looks pretty good. You can mod it to look incredibly good, and I just have fond memories of that game. I always think to myself, should I just go back and start playing that and like get lost in that world again? But it's so daunting to me also just thinking about that fact, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you're right. And that's got to be 30 hours there, Jesus, easy just to kind of break into the game.
yeah, that's just breaking into it. That's not even like getting really into it where I want to start exploring everything and doing everything and going around and but there's so many mods now that like improve the dialogue of the NPCs, improve the animations of the NPCs, improve the lighting, the shading,
No
the
door
rate.
loading, right? You can get the
There,
no door
yeah,
loading mod.
yeah, the door, no door loading, the walk right into doors, like the fucking There's so many things now that like the mods of that game, you could make that game run like it's like a new game, dude. Like it's crazy to me. So big shout out to all the modders who do all that work, man, because they really
Yeah.
keep these games alive for much longer than the game would otherwise be alive. Like, you know what? Speaking of that, I want to see.
But Jesus, speaking of no door mods or no doors loading or whatever, Dragon's Dogma 2, no loading. Jesus, you're just in
Yeah,
one cohesive world. Unless it's a story based thing, then
yeah.
it'll go to a cutscene, which I haven't seen a lot of, by the way. It's just been a
How
lot
about
of like all the doors just
Gunny?
open and you walk into it.
So, okay, think about Skyrim, right? And I'm talking about going back to play it. How many players do you think are on Steam right now playing Skyrim?
I'm gonna say there's probably 100 people.
No, you're way off, buddy. There's 21,200 people.
Damn.
This game has more players than Battlefield fucking 2042.
Shit.
It
We're not
has more.
talking ESO here, are we?
No,
We're
it's
talking Skyrim number 5.
Skyrim number 5, the anniversary edition. Okay,
Yeah, remember
that's
we did the thing, Jesus, last
21,000
year?
players.
Remember we did a thing
Yeah.
last year, and then I think even not Peter Hines, who's the guy that the other guy in charge who still works there.
I don't know.
Whatever, that fucking guy. He's like there was a complaint that like, how many anniversary editions of Skyrim do you actually need? He goes, stop playing and we'll stop making them, you know? Right? That's the thing. We're gonna keep making them as long as people keep playing it.
Battlefield 2042 has 13,000 players. This is an online only game that doesn't have a campaign.
Yeah.
13,000 players compared to Skyrim, that is not an online game. It's just a single player only experience. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Such a cult
There's
classic, you know?
there's 8,000 more
Smash hit,
people
though.
playing Skyrim, dude. That is nuts to me.
I wonder, because I assume like, is there also like a mod where you can play multiplayer? I don't know if that's the case.
No,
I know you can have
so.
more than one companion. You can have like 4 or 5 if you wanted to with the mods.
Yeah. But in other news, more news here. GOG, the gaming storefront owned by CD Projekt Red, is getting into the cloud gaming by teaming up with Amazon Luna. Since the Luna Cloud service streams games from Amazon's cloud servers, you'll be able to access select titles you've purchased from the store across any compatible device that you own, including PCs, Macs, Android, and iOS mobile devices, as well as a smart TV and or Fire tablets. You simply need to install the Luna app on your device and make sure you're connected to the internet. You'll also be able to use any Luna compatible device and controller, such as an Xbox One and PlayStation controller, to play your games. And then announcements, GOG says that you'll be able to play any of the games you own on their platform, provided that they're also on Luna. The CD Projekt subsidiary confirmed that the titles include The Witcher and The Witcher series and Cyberpunk 2077. But you can also check if your other games are accessible if you already have Amazon's cloud streaming service. A Luna spokesperson told us that while GOG's library will not be available on the Amazon service at launch, the selection will expand in the coming months. It says here, yeah, so yeah, I mean, if you are, I don't even know, do you need to sign up for Luna to play this, or do you just download the Luna app and use it?
It sounds like you could probably just log in with your GOG through the Luna app, is what they're saying.
Oh, is that how they're
Right?
gonna
Or
do
say,
this?
oh, maybe you just need to create one, but it's free to sign up. Because I want to say, Jesus, when that first came out, I was like, I want to say I downloaded it because I thought I want to check this out and eventually get a Luna controller, you know. But I never did. I never followed up with it. But I want to say I actually created a profile because it had like a couple free to play games on there, but I never play, by the way. So I don't know if it's still on my computer or not. But yeah, you just log in with your Amazon account. But yeah, then you can then purchase games through their service. So it seems like it's simple enough.
So it says here that when you play on Luna, you don't have to pay them anything. You just play the games that you own on GOG on Luna, and you could even buy GOG games through
Oh,
Luna. So
nice.
and they'll go directly to your GOG library, and you can play on your PC if you have one.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's kind of like it works both ways. You can buy games on GOG and play them on your Luna, or buy games on Luna that are for GOG, and they go directly to your library for GOG.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's a nice team up there.
Yeah, that's a good team up because wasn't GOG, weren't they the ones that did all those Humble Bundle bullshits?
I don't remember if I
Was that
haven't
them?
followed them in a while. I know Bill Gardner, I think, follows it, but because remember they increased the price or because now it's
Yeah,
subscription based, I think is what it is.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it was, but remember they were giving out free games, but then they stopped. Then they went to just the subscription base is what it was.
So, yeah.
And
I mean, hey, man.
Amazon, for the longest time, I was getting the claiming the free games on there. And I think they have obviously have their own launcher, which is probably just part of Luna right now. So
But it's a cool little feature, man. If you have most people use Amazon. Most people have a laptop or a phone or whatever that can run this Luna shit because you need this internet connection. Play
I
your
don't
Luna
know. Do you
games,
need a
man.
Luna controller? Well, it does say you could. It
No, it
says in
says
the
you could
article
use anything.
PS4 or
Use
Xbox
anything.
One. I assume it means any kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use.
You
Yeah,
could use
maybe
a
it was just the
PS5.
wording. It sounds like any controller.
Any controller, they say you can use any third-party controller. We don't give a fuck. It's
Nice.
just downloading the Luna app on your device and then using it to launch the fucking thing and log into
I'm
it.
gonna download it right now. Well, maybe I should just do it on my. You know what? Because my, I just realized that my iPad is full with Call of Duty Warzone, so I'll do it on my phone.
Yeah, I don't know what else here. Let's move on to more news. More news, I guess. Um, hmm. Xbox is releasing a new Nocturnal Vapor Series X and S controller. Apparently, this is the leak following the release of their Storm Cloud of Vapor and Dream Vapor pads. Nocturnal Vapor will reportedly be released on April 9th with an official announcement and pre-orders likely to go live a week earlier. Microsoft launched the Vapor series of Xbox Design Lab custom controllers in January, which included Nocturnal Vapor, which is a dark green and gray color, and blah blah blah. So yeah, so this is apparently coming this next month. So a new controller Design Labs, which seems to be the only thing Microsoft can do right is the controllers.
Yeah, they're all the same, right? That's the one thing they never really went
Yeah,
forward with after
they can't,
Xbox One. But hey, I'm
they,
happy with the ones that I have. Doesn't do
they
anything
can't
extra on the
fuck
Series
that up.
X, but
You just can't fuck that up. I
yeah.
see here, and more news. Pretty much Dragon Dogma 2 on PC is dog shit. I think it sits pretty low on the Steam reviews. It's pretty low. I don't know. People are pissed off that the game doesn't run good, pretty badly optimized, and yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I think it's what I'm getting. I was looking at some of the things, not so much the reviews, but like, oh, you're getting whatever, 6 more extra frames on PlayStation 5. But then I thought it
Yeah.
was the other way around. Like the Series X is getting 6 more frames. I don't know.
So yeah, pretty much in a message directly addressed to the Steam players, Capcom responded saying that we would like to update you on the status of the following items, about which we have received numerous comments from the community. To all those looking forward to this game, we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. And it's a note to players on PC. Capcom listed all the items that could be obtained in-game or as paid DLC items. So there's a bunch of things. Because people weren't sure if you had to pay for some things or not. And apparently they made that more clear for people.
Yeah, yeah. I'll talk a little bit about that, Jesus. One thing I didn't mention in the beginning.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's the so they said they issued a statement about their frame rate, and they said a large amount of CPU usage is allocated to each character and calculating the impact of their physical presence in various areas. In certain situations where numerous characters appear simultaneously, the CPU usage can be very high and may affect the frame rates. We are aware that in such situations, settings that reduce GPU load may currently have a limited effect. However, we are looking into ways to improve performance in the future. Come on, man. Like, if you guys knew this, why release the game, man? Like,
I notice it, Jesus.
I
When
don't
I'm
know what's up with these developers, dude. Like, if they know something, right, and they know something is fundamentally broken in their game, why proceed to release the game? I get it. You have like a publishing company and your boss or whoever the fuck on your ass about releasing it, but like, why couldn't like these companies understand and argue like, fuck the release date? Can we just push this back a month or 2 months to try to work on this one thing? Let's try to just focus everything on this one big problem that's fucking everything up. And I guess if you fix it, it might fuck other things up, but at least it won't be that kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, frame rate is pretty big, man. Performance is pretty big. In the PC world, if your game does not perform well, it could very well flop, dude. Like, if you do not correct course really, really fast, your game could be a complete failure. Cyberpunk, I don't know how CD Projekt Red did it. I think they burnt up all their goodwill that they had from The Witcher.
Yeah.
All like that, all that goodwill they had from The Witcher 3, right? Everyone loved it. Everyone raved about The Witcher. Great fucking series, cool story, cool atmosphere, great game, amazing. These guys know what they're doing. All that hype that they had around Cyberpunk to release what they released, when they released it, after delays, and still was that bad.
Right. And keep in mind, too, that they really, I'll just say this, like, how do I put it? Like, I feel like they paid for it because remember, they were hacked, they were sent death threats. I mean, it was just like, like it wasn't a good time for them, even, right? Besides us as customers, offered refunds. They look, they used all that up in The Witcher and more, I think.
Yeah, they really. But like, for example, this company, Capcom, with Dragon's Dogma 2, like they go ahead and release this shit. It's like, come on, guys. Like, how many times are gamers? That's the thing with gamers, man. Gamers are like goldfish, dude. Like, we're in a big goldfish bowl, and we're just swimming in circles, looking for the next little flake of food to eat. And then here comes a developer with some shiny fucking flake of fucking food, and they dump it into your fishbowl, Gunny. And then we all get super hyped up and go up there to eat it. And even though it might taste like dog shit because it's so bad, they just drop another one and we forget about that just happened. We forget that it happened.
Yeah.
Like we just forget. We just forget like, oh, that other piece you gave me was fucking shitty. I'm not gonna eat this one. No, we just forget about it. We just go to the next one like, oh yeah, it'll be good this time.
This time we got a better flake and it's only $70. Why don't you take this flake?
This one's a little bit better. It tastes a little bit better. This one's orange instead of brown. Like, what the fuck? Like we literally, man, that's how gamers are, dude. And, you know, people always talk about, like, I always laugh because people always talk about relationships, right? You always see these posts on TikTok and Instagram about people gaslighting you, right? Oh, you're gaslighting me or whatever, right? And motherfucker, you're being gaslit by the fucking developers and publishers. EA does it every fucking time.
Yeah.
EA, Microsoft does it every other month. Microsoft does it. Microsoft is one of the worst ones. Everyone forgets Microsoft owns like a fucking shitload of studios now, and they haven't really released anything good in the last year. But yet, here comes Phil Spencer, Gunny. Phil Spencer comes out with his little dimple and his nice jacket. He's up there smiling at you, and he points at you, Gunny, and Gunny's like, oh,
I get all giddy, I get all excited.
Phil pointed at me. He pointed at me, guys. And then Phil waves at you real quick, and then he smiles again, and then he's like, hey guys, I'm Phil, and I'm here to talk to you about this new game, this new exciting chapter. And then they talk about some bullshit fucking game, right? Some shit that we've seen for years, like fucking Hellblade 2 or something. And everyone gets so fucking giddy. Oh my god, Phil Spencer mentioned Hellblade 2. Oh, it's the best thing ever. But like, dude, come on, man. Like, you're just gonna forget that this game's been delayed for like 4 years?
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out like...
They're gonna make it better, though, Jesus. It's gonna be better.
Oh, it's so
Hope
much
so.
better. Every fucking developer does it. EA does it too. Oh yeah, guys, we really fucked up that Battlefield game. But you know what? You know what, Gunny? You know what? We learned. And we're gonna make another Battlefield game, and we're gonna ask you yet again to pay us another $100. But this one will be better, Gunny. Okay, this one's gonna have like bigger tanks. Okay? I know you like tanks.
Bigger
Guess what?
battlefields in
This one,
Battlefield.
guess what, Gunny? Gunny, I heard you like helicopters. Guess what we're going to show in the trailer when we announce the next Battlefield?
Macho Apache helicopters.
Yeah, we're going to show a bunch of
Rah!
Apache. We're going to show a bunch of Apache helicopters flying in and bombing things. Yeah,
If I just pay the 10 extra dollars for those,
yeah, because you know you like them.
I'll be a happy Battlefield player.
But I mean, they all do it, man. Every one of them does it, dude. Microsoft does it. PlayStation does it. Xbox, they all fucking do it. Nintendo does it. Nintendo is one of them too. Oh man, you guys want an exclusive? Okay, we're gonna give you a Mario game, but it's not like Mario Odyssey. We know you want that, but we're not gonna give you that. We're gonna give you a different Mario because we know you want the other one, but like we can't make that yet. So we're gonna give you
call
this
it
other
Paper Mario
Yeah.
Revisited, whatever
Yeah.
they're calling it.
We're gonna call this other shit that we've already made before, but we're gonna just reskin it and repackage it up because it's enhanced. Okay, if we put it in a new box, that means that it's enhanced, so it looks better. And we're gonna add like one new feature to it because we paid the intern guy to add the one feature. We told him that he needs to make the one new feature work, and he did. So yeah, we gave him some college credit for that, and he passed. So yeah, good job. There's a new Mario game that you wanted.
40
It's
bucks.
like
Okay, it's only 40.
everyone does it. It's so annoying. Like if we as gamers just said, you know what? No, fuck you, man. Like fuck you companies. We're done with your bullshit, man. You know how fast video games would be $50? Do you realize, Gunny?
Yeah, they would be so that you kind of see that. You kind of see that, I think, with like your maybe an EA situation where no, it's probably not a good example because one of the things you see with EA is where, yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage or whatever, which I still play. I think it's a great game. All right. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid here. But other games, right, where they're like, give us a $70. That's what games cost now. And this is the new and the better one. But then they get, right, if they're not a success, right, they get the deep discount, 3 months later. So, and I guess you get your bottom feeders, but
I'm talking if tomorrow everyone woke up and got on Reddit and every gamer said, we're not buying a new game. The next game that comes out, no one is buying it. Do you know how fast? And then we did that again. The first time the publishers might hold. They might say, oh, that was a fluke. They just kind of banded together. They'll break. But if we keep doing that to them, the fucking video games would be $50 at launch so fast. They wouldn't even blink, dude. They would be like, yeah, we'll release any game at $50. We don't care. We don't care what GTA 6? $50 right now. Like we'll release it. We don't care. Like they would not care, dude. They would
people would have to really speak with their wallets, right? To really show them. Then I can see that being the case.
But the problem is we don't, and we keep caving in and keep caving into their demands and supporting the developers and blah, blah, blah. And look, dude, yes, I get it. There's people working and people need to get paid and companies need to make money to pay these people. But at the same time, we work for our money too, and we spend our money where we want to spend it. Yeah, entertainment or whatever. But like, what's the cost, man? If you give me a shitty game for $60 and I don't like it, I don't have any recourse. I don't have any way to get my money back. As you can see, PlayStation don't give you your money back. I mean, Steam, yeah, I get it. Steam gives you like 2 hours your money back or whatever. Like they're pretty good about it. I've never had an issue with Steam not refunding me. Maybe once. Maybe one time. Maybe I had a game for like 3 weeks and I regretted buying it after 3 weeks. But I had played already like maybe 4 hours of it, and they were like, the 4 hours is not the issue, it's the weeks. You already owned it for 3 weeks, and like you did play over the amount of time, so we cannot refund you this. And I was like, whatever, like I'll keep it. I understand. But I guaranteed if I probably would have went to them within the first week of owning it, even with the 4 hours, they probably would have approved it. You know, they probably would have
Yeah.
just asked me, why don't you really want this game? And I would have been like, I really think it's not that good. They probably would have been like, all right, we understand. We'll refund it for this one time. And I guarantee they probably would have. But like PlayStation don't, Xbox probably don't or wouldn't. So like, I don't know, man. These publishers need to get their shit straight. And like, yes, we understand people get paid. We understand the budgets of these games. We understand everything's expensive. But you're also asking the gamers to put up a lot of money for games that are not that good sometimes, man. And that are released broken, dude. Think about the people that took days off to play Dragon's Dogma 2. You know there's someone out there that did that.
Yeah.
You know, someone that requested a vacation time, a personal day or whatever, called in sick, whatever they did, to play this game, only to play it and be broken as fuck on Steam.
Yeah, that would tick me off, especially like I know I've had. I'm trying to think of any real examples where. Well, I'll say this, Jesus. So, but that's one thing I did kind of notice. Like, I don't have a frame counter on my Xbox, and I'm sure PlayStation 5 doesn't have one. I know there's a way to do it, but I do notice it like when I'm in town and I'm moving around, where I'm like, oh, I feel like the frames are lower. So
Yeah.
one of the things, now that you mention it, now I'm thinking back, right? So since I spent a lot of time in that city, I noticed what they do with like some of the NPCs where, let's say there's like the kind of food carts that they have.
Yeah.
So when they will pop in, I think that's kind of on purpose, right? Where they kind of come from invisible and then they'll fade into existence, right? When they come up to their food cart. So yeah, that makes sense. Like they were trying to like get it to where the frames don't dip down too much. I see why they did that. Because, you know, too many NPCs on the screen could definitely cause the frames to drop. But I feel like it's playable. I don't feel like, oh, this is unplayable and too slow or sluggish or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it's definitely not 60. I know that for a fact. Like I could definitely see the 30 being the top on the Series X. Yeah, and I'm sure we can go to Digital Foundry, right, and be like, this is what you're getting when you're out in this land, and you know what it's like being in town, and you know at the armory and walking around the statue, right? Like, yeah. But damn, that sucks for like PC players because I feel like it's working pretty darn good on Series X. But
yeah, Mayo told me that on the PS5,
I know you didn't play much of it.
that the performance is the best on that. So yeah.
Yeah, so I know I was going to watch a video today because I've been watching nothing but Dragon's Dogma 2 stuff. But yeah, just getting that first patch out on performance issues, which is always a thing. So, but I think you'll be okay, Jesus. I think you're definitely going to notice the low frames, right?
Oh,
like
probably.
not lack of them, but the fact that, you know, you're only getting that and not playing it on PC.
But yeah, what else do we have for news? Okay. What's more news here? One piece of news here. Larian Boss says that Wizards of the Coast is not to blame for the studio moving on from Baldur's Gate. So this year, after the surprising announcement that Larian Studios would be moving on from the Baldur's Gate franchise, studio CEO Sven Vink said that the new direction was not the decision of the Wizards of the Coast. Although Wizards of the Coast holds the licensing for Baldur's Gate 3, Vink has been quick to dispel rumors that the Hasbro-owned company is the reason why the studio is moving on from the IP. In a year filled with stiff competition and major releases, Baldur's Gate 3 proved to be one of the biggest hits of 2023. Since the launch, the game has received praise from many critics and fans, even winning the coveted title of the Game of the Year at the Game Awards of 2023. One of the biggest draws of the game is just how intricate and replayable it is, even after hours of playing it, and there are new things to discover in it that keep players coming back for more. From the character creation to the overall story, Larian Studios clearly put care into the game's development, and that's what made recent news of the studio stepping away from Baldur's Gate so shocking. But people started to speculate that Wizards of the Coast had something to do with it, since they do own the licensing for Dungeons and Dragons. However, they put those rumors to rest. He said that they had no say-so in what the direction of Larian Studios would be moving forward. In fact, Vink made it clear that Wizards of the Coast had been a great partner to work with throughout the development of Baldur's Gate 3. And so, yeah. But There's going to be no sequel to Baldur's Gate 3, but they're planning to expand ending cinematics to Baldur's Gate 3 in the future. So there's that.
Yeah, I had to do some research on this one because I'm not too familiar with the franchise history.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that the BioWare made the first two for Wizards of the Coast.
Huh.
So of course this is spanning over what, 10, 12 years or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, because I remember playing one on the Xbox 360. I think I played one or two. Can't remember which one it was. So many years ago.
Yeah,
Shoot, that
but
might have been on the original Xbox.
yeah, so
Yeah, I believe it was the first Xbox I played it on. Could be wrong, but yeah. So I'm sure, like, if I'm just gonna read between the lines here because we're kind of missing the first article of this story, but it was probably the contract, right? You're just making one game. That's it, right? Like that's it.
yeah, that's
Like
it.
we're
You made a big game and a great game, but I
yeah,
mean,
like
that was the
that's
deal, right? That was the deal. Like, yeah,
yeah. This is the deal. You get one. You know, like it doesn't matter if it's a fucking huge success or if it's shit, right? It doesn't matter. So that's the
yeah. Well,
contract.
that's the deal you made. That's the deal you get, and that's what you do. Yeah.
I don't know.
So
Who knows, Jesus? 6 months from now, we might be reading an article about how they fucking love working with him so much and made him so much money that they're going to make
they're
a
going
fourth
back.
one.
They're going back right now. They're starting on
Going
the fourth
back.
one.
Yep.
We're doing it, guys. We're going back. You guys cried so much that we went back. We're going back right now.
Yep. Just got to sign that contract first.
Yeah, I wonder what they'll be making next. If it's going to be an RPG, or I would assume so, right? But you never know. These companies, man, like these companies are not owned by publishers like Microsoft or EA or whatever the fuck, Square Enix or whoever, doesn't own them. They could really do whatever they want. I mean, they probably
Yeah.
made quite a bit of money off of Baldur's Gate 3, because it was a huge success. Winning all the awards probably got them extra money and bonuses or whatever. So they probably are sitting on a pretty good chunk of change. They're probably thinking, okay, like we're pretty good right now. We got all this money. What do we do next? We could literally do whatever we want.
Yep.
Do we go and pursue whatever we wanted to do in the past that we couldn't do because of money restrictions or whatever that we can now do? Or do we not do that? Do we play it safe and make something that we know we're good at, like another RPG? Or do we just say, fuck it, we're going to go out of the box and we're going to make a fucking first person shooter live action extraction game? Like,
Yeah. So, but it looks like you never know, right? But they also made Divinity. I think I forgot who they actually made that for, but probably going to be another RPG because that seems to be really what they have in their wheelhouse. But I'd be surprised, anything else they make.
yeah. Let's see what else do we have for news. No more news. Yeah, no more news. Yeah, no more news.
No more news. Okay, we're done.
Besides that, oh yeah, I guess if you play Call of Duty and you're a Warzone fan, Call of Duty Warzone is not available anywhere you go with your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hey, released on
Have you played
Android,
it?
iOS.
I haven't even tried it, dude.
Yeah, hopefully the matches got longer so I can play more this week. Because I mean they're really super fucking short. Like I don't know, like 7 minutes or whatever, 6 minutes. That's a little too short of a time. So, but I'm sure they're just kind of stress testing. Maybe not so much players. I'm sure they've got a ton of players. I didn't feel like there was a queue or anything because it is Activision. They've got lots of money, lots of servers. But yeah, I need to increase it for a little longer. So, but yeah, see how that goes. I'll have more to report on that next week.
I was just laughing at the post I'm looking at on Instagram that's about P. Diddy. Oh man, that guy is so fucked. He is fucked. He's fucked, Connie. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, apparently the fucking feds they grounded his plane where it landed because there's extradition laws there. Like,
oh, where did he go? Where did he land at? Did it say?
It landed. I don't know where it landed, but they said that where it was originally headed to. It was headed to It was headed to an island that had a no extradition treaty with the U.S. And as soon as I think it landed to refuel or something, the fucking feds told the plane, "You cannot take off. Like you're not allowed to take off. You need to stay on the fucking ground."
They get some F-18s, like I know my fighter jets here, but out there like pointing to
I
the
don't know.
down
I don't
position,
know. Hey,
Yeah.
motherfuckers, you trying to take off? We're fucking you up. Yeah, I don't know.
Weapons are hot. Yeah.
Can you imagine? Apparently, because P Diddy's name was on the manifest or whatever for the plane or whatever, so they said like, "Oh no, you can't take off, motherfuckers. You guys got to stay put real quick. We'll be there in a few hours. Don't worry, P Diddy.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon, buddy." Yeah, that's crazy. To me, it's crazy. Like all these famous people, man. Like the crazy shit they do. You're so famous. You got so much money, man. Why are you out there doing crazy shit like this, dude? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand the logic. I will never ever understand that logic, dude. Like the whole R. Kelly thing, I would never understand the logic behind that type of shit. It's like you're fucked up in the head, man, but you're fucked up in the head and got a lot of money, so you could get away with a lot of shit by paying people off and having money and hiding shit. But eventually, the truth might catch up with you, man. Like that is crazy to me. I'm like, fuck, like that is nuts.
It reminds me too of like, what was that? There was a famous football player. I don't think he was like Joe Montana famous, but I forgot what team he played for, but he was like, he had the pit bull fighting or whatever. Like the
Oh,
dogs.
Michael Vick.
Yes.
Like
Like
what for,
why?
dude?
Why?
What you're like? He was literally like one of the highest paid athletes at the time in the world, man. Like you're a star player on a team. You are the number one starting quarterback on the team, dude. Like, why are you wasting your money doing this? Like, what was the point of it? Like, I have no, yeah,
Yeah, I
man. Like,
didn't. That one was a head scratcher for me as someone who was younger at the time, where I'm like, you're famous, you have kind of, like you have money, you know what I mean? You've got fame, and then you go and do something really, really stupid, that's gonna
yeah.
get you into a lot of trouble.
It's like the
Um,
guy who it's like the guy who was on the Patriots, the guy that shot someone. Remember that guy that killed himself in the fucking
yeah,
prison?
yep.
It's like, dude, really,
Jeez,
man? You're gonna
another
shoot
baseball
someone?
player did it. Yeah,
you you're gonna shoot someone because they looked at you dirty at a club? Like really? Really? That's the reason you're gonna shoot someone like you're a fucking thug on the street or something. You're gonna just shoot someone because they look at you weird. You're
yeah.
a fucking famous football player, dude. Like people are gonna look at you, man. Like what the fuck? What do you
Right? You'll probably get more. I don't know. Maybe they just think. Maybe the thing is like, oh, I'm so famous, I can afford tons of lawyers or whatever.
That's what they think, maybe.
I
I don't
must
know,
be
man.
10 foot tall and bulletproof, I guess. Yeah,
But this,
untouchable. I don't know what they're thinking.
some people are crazy. Like I think some people are legit just born like crazy though. Like you're just
Yeah,
inherent. You have that gene that makes you like a psychopath or whatever. You know. I think there's like legit like some kind of something in these people that are legit like just crazy, and
right.
they're able to do these things and not feel any remorse in their head. Like in their head, they're just like, oh no, I did that because I wanted to do that. Like
Yeah,
I don't feel bad about it. I just got caught. Like, it's like a lot of people. I feel like that's what they are. But the problem is that some of these people, unfortunately, are able to become famous and really rich off of their
right.
careers, so they get away with a lot of shit more. Because they have money. Like I said, you pay people off to keep quiet. You could do things outside the country, like Jeffrey Epstein did for a long time. Like in some fucking island somewhere where there's no laws, against you or whatever.
Yeah,
Like you do all this crazy shit to get away with it, and it's just nuts, dude. I don't know, but this whole P Diddy thing is like unfolding, dude, like right before our eyes, and like just today, man, like wow, just wow, it is nuts.
I wonder. I know. I'm sure I'll see more of it tonight or tomorrow because it's. But yeah, like I wonder if he got like ample warning from somebody. Like, hey, they're coming for you. They're raiding all three places all at once. Get on that
Hey,
plane,
bro, hey, bro,
GTA style.
hey, bro, you need to
Get on
get
your
on that
private
fucking
plane.
jet and take off right now. I wonder if he like called up his pilots. Hey guys, I need you guys to be right now on standby. Get the fuck on turn that motherfucker on right
Yeah,
now. Sir, we have to refuel. I don't give a fuck. You're taking off right now. We don't need any fuel. You just take off.
just choose one island in the Caribbean islands that doesn't have a U.S. extradition law that I can hunker down in.
Just pick an island that the U.S. doesn't have a treaty with and take me there right now. Like that's fucking nuts. But yeah, man, like that is crazy to me how like Oh, that fucking happened. Like, yeah, dude. Because the crazier part is he left his kids behind.
Yeah, see, so that was his son I saw getting arrested. I just saw a snippet
Yeah,
of it.
his son got
Gosh.
two of his sons. So this motherfucker takes off in his jet, doesn't even take his kids with him, and he's like, "All right, guys, peace out. You guys are gonna go to prison for me. I'm out of here.
Going on
Bye."
vacation early.
Oh my lord, some nuts. This is some crazy shit. Some crazy stuff going on in the world, man. I don't know, man, but yeah, big shout out to all the people listening, all the Patreon machines, and Mayo. Hopefully you're good. I don't know where the fuck Mayo's doing. I think he's
He
working.
might be somewhere in Dayton, Ohio. I don't know. I'm just picking a city.
Mayo,
Right? Cruising the
Mayo,
Camaro around.
Mayo. I know you're listening, Mayo, and this is a warning, Mayo. Prepare, dude. Get gas right now. Stock up on gas. Stock up on toilet paper. Stock up on food and water and basic like water, soda, snacks, whatever you like to eat. Stock up on it, man. No, I'm being serious. All right, listen, Gunny, listen. You know
You ever
why?
watch those prepper videos? I always feel like they're always under a
bro.
cornfield or something, like where Mayo
Listen,
lives, right? Be the best place.
no, he needs to do this because when the eclipse happens next month or whenever, isn't it happening like next month or
I don't know
something?
when. Yeah, I don't know when the date is.
Okay, but listen, that eclipse is going to happen, right? But you know what happens during these eclipses? Millions of people go to watch these fucking eclipses, dude, from all over the world. So that means like in his city or whatever. I don't know. Does he live in Columbus or something? I don't know where the fuck he lives in
Somewhere
Ohio.
near
But
Columbus.
if he lives in the big city like Columbus, he might be okay. But regardless, if you're in some little town in Columbus or near Columbus in Ohio somewhere in some little dinky fucking town where the fucking solar eclipse is going to go right over the area, guess what? That little town of like 40, 50, 60, 100,000 people, it's going to have like 1,000,000 people show up. All right? Literally, they're going to have like 1,000,000 people in that area, dude. Even in
It's like an eclipse
Columbus.
cult. What's up?
Dude, Gunny, when the eclipse happened, like here in Oregon, dude, when it happened like a few years ago, a shitload of people came to Oregon, and that was even during like that maybe it was before the pandemic,
Do
but
they
still,
pillage the grocery stores? Is what they do?
yes, people will come and like gas stations run out of gas because they don't have enough gas for everyone. Stores run out of food because everyone's buying everything. You can't buy any fucking chips or soda because it's all fucking sold out. Everything gets sold out, dude. So
Mayo stock up on Cheetos and Copenhagen. I don't think he chews, but why not?
Columbus has a population of 906,000 people. So almost 1,000,000 people live in that city. So it's a pretty big city. But imagine adding another 1,000,000 people to that city. Like just doubling the population.
Yeah, probably for a week, at least a week, right?
Yeah, for whatever the amount of time, say even for 3 days, 4 days. Like that's a lot of people going to one area, dude, to watch this fucking eclipse thing and like watch, man. I'm telling you, crazy shit's gonna go down. People fight, people get mad because you go to a little dinky town, Mayo and Gunny. Like, okay, say you go to a dinky town for like a festival. A lot of times you will notice there's not enough bathrooms there for everyone. Like they don't set up enough porta potties. Like it has to be like a lot of things have to be set up for like that many people to be in that area, dude. You gotta have cops. You gotta have fucking cops for security. You gotta have porta potties everywhere so people don't piss and shit everywhere. You gotta have enough food for everyone. You gotta have enough water, enough everything for shit like that so you could fucking sustain everyone, dude.
Yeah, what's Mayo like? What's that service, Jesus, where you can rent your home out? What's the name of that
Airbnb.
the Airbnb? You can Airbnb his place out, right?
Do it, Mayo. Do it for $1,000 a night or Airbnb that shit. You sleep in your Camaro for 2 nights, you'd be good.
Just put a porta potty because there's going to be a lot of them, Mayo. Put that outside downstairs.
Just go steal a porta potty from one of the places and put it in your fucking downstairs.
Charge people
Yeah.
$10 per use. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the nicest porta potty because $10 a use. That shit better be super clean.
Right? You could buy a lot of toilet paper for that.
Oh shit. Anyways, we're out of here, gentlemen.
Hold on, Jesus. Hold on. We still got the console corner stuff to go, but it's all the same stuff you played on PlayStation.
God.
Xbox Game Pass, right? Because they don't give out free games anymore. So you do get Evil West. I know that Blaze mentioned that a couple
Yeah,
weeks
he did.
ago, so he must have paid for it, but now it's actually on Game Pass. So yeah, go get the Evil West on console and PC. And another, I think it's a new game, Jesus. I could be wrong, but Lightyear Frontier, I think it might be a city builder. So that might be something for me and you to check out. Check
Okay.
out gameplay on that Lightyear Frontier. So
I'm looking
available on
at it.
Game Pass on PC and consoles. And over on the Epic Store, get your 2 free games. Call of the Wild, The Angler. So if you like fishing, relaxation game, grab that for
Okay.
free. Along with Invincible Presents Adam Eve. ATOM Eve. So it looks like a storybook teller kind of game. Might check it out. So
Those
yeah.
are lame. Lame.
Yeah, but come on, man. It's free. You gotta play it. At
Yeah.
least download it. It's free. But
I'm
now we're
looking at
done.
I'm looking at Lightyear Frontier. It looks okay. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know here.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I think it's a city builder. Could be wrong.
where can we find you, Gunny?
Go find me over on the Xbox playing Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh,
I'll be over there. Gamer tag Gunny Chief over there on Xbox and Steam and over on the Epic Store as well. So over on
all
the
right.
PlayStation as well. HGP underscore Gunny. I'll be playing some Spider-Man, maybe some God
Oh,
of
yeah.
War. Where do we find you,
I'll,
Jesus?
I'll be on the PlayStation, of course, checking out Dragon's Dogma 2 tomorrow. For sure. I mean, if I bought it, I might as well play it, dude. So I'll be checking that out. I'll be trying to play more Rise of the Ronin. Maybe I'll have to dumb it down to baby mode. Or I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
It doesn't look that good though of a game. Maybe it's the TV because the TV is kind of a hobo TV. I mean, TV fucking it's kind of hobo. I was arguing with my girlfriend the other day about it being a little hobo. She don't believe it's hobo, but I'm telling
It's
her
not.
it's
So it's not.
pretty hobo.
I know it's probably a 4K. So is it like is it just a
It's,
basic LG or what?
no, it's a Vizio, but it's like a lower end model. But I mean, it has like 4K HDR and all that bullshit. It's pretty big. It's quite big actually, but I don't like it. But that's because I come from using my OLED. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. I do
it's
miss my
hard.
OLED up at the
And then
house.
and then I look at an OLED all day on my PC. You know, like my monitor is an OLED. You know, I'm looking at OLED colors all day long, and then you go to that, it's like, well,
Yeah, it's
like
a little bit different. Yeah.
these colors are kind of lame. These blacks are not really black. Like, I can see the light bleeding through. You know, kind of like you just notice it. It kind of sucks when you notice it. 'Cause it's like if you never know better, you be like them, right? You just don't know better, but you think it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
But once you experience it, Gunny, you know better, and you're like,
Oh
no, I
yeah,
know
for
better.
sure.
I know better now. This is hobo shit. We need better. But she argues with me. I think one day I'm gonna just like grab it and throw it out and go get a new one, and then like
Hey,
she
maybe
won't
you got
even.
it from Costco. You can just go trade it back in and say this TV don't work. It doesn't pop the
I should,
colors.
I should ask her if she got it from Costco. You're gonna return that motherfucker. Hey, this
Yeah,
motherfucker don't work anymore. Because the Costco's return policy is like whenever, right? You just fucking take
I think
shit
so.
whenever.
Yeah, we saw somebody
Yeah.
return a couch after 2 years.
Oh,
Remember that article?
I've seen someone return a fucking bed after like 10 years. And
Damn.
the store took it because their excuse was the bed doesn't feel the same way it did when I first bought it. Motherfucker, you owned it for 10 years. What do you mean it don't feel? Of course it don't feel the same. Any other store would tell you to fuck right off.
It's
But
like with that
no,
comedian that he said about Walmart, like when you return diapers, these diapers already got shit in them. You know?
yeah, like
Okay, sir.
Costco don't give a fuck. Costco takes it. Costco's like, yeah, sure, we'll give you your money back. Here you go. Go buy a new bed. Here you go. Like it's crazy to me. So maybe I should ask her. Or yeah, I'm gonna ask her if she bought it at Costco, and then we'll return that motherfucker and get a new one, an OLED one.
Yes. Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I need. But I want a smaller OLED this time.
We need an OLED, bro. We need like an 80-inch OLED.
Yeah. And I need a good monitor for my kid's PC. He
Oh,
put in all the part
Gunny!
picker stuff. He's going to be
Holy
18 in 2 weeks, Jesus. So we'll talk about that
Gunny!
off the air.
Hold on, Gunny. Hold on, Gunny. I got a deal for you, right? Before he finds out about this. Okay, listen. Gunny, you're looking for a monitor, right?
Yep.
Today, okay, right now, Gunny, let me tell you about this deal right now. The Samsung 49-inch G9 Series OLED curved gaming monitor with 240 hertz, 0.03 millisecond input delay, dual QHD Display HDR True Black 400 and FreeSync Premium Pro. Okay, it's down to like $1,000, dude. It's on sale right now.
Okay, I think the new one came out recently. I think it's like the number 2 or whatever. I was like, whoa, that thing looks pretty freaking awesome. I think I saw an ad for it this morning.
This is a 49-inch, bro. Mine's a 40 whatever. I think mine's 42 or 43. I don't remember how big mine is. Mine's pretty big, but this motherfucker is like 7 inches wider than mine. I'm like, that's like half. That's like my whole desk, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, it says here list price is $1,600, but right now they have it down to $1,099.99. Plus, you can apply $100 coupon on Amazon. That makes it just under $1,000.
Nice.
Those are pretty nice too. They're pretty nice monitors from what I've seen. I don't know how much the Alienwares are.
Probably 800 for the OLEDs. Assuming they have those. They're
Yeah, so
kind
I'm
of
looking
pricey,
at
right, for the Alienware.
yeah, I'm looking at the Alienware right now. Like the one I have, I don't think this is the exact one I have, but it's similar to the one I have. It's down from $1,099 to $899.
Yeah, I did see those
Those
yesterday.
are
Not
pretty
physically, but
nice.
yeah, was looking online.
I mean, I think this is almost like the one I have.
Saw them at Best Buy though, and display was pretty good.
Oh, that's really good, dude. But there's two different ones on the Alienware one. So I didn't know this, but when I bought mine, mine came with G-Sync or whatever, and it has FreeSync as well. And I think when Brink bought his, or IAM's one of them too, because we all have the same monitor. But when I think when Brink bought his only came with FreeSync. It did not have G-Sync in it. So I don't know why his didn't have G-Sync, but I think his was also like $200 cheaper than mine for the fact that it didn't have G-Sync. Or it was cheaper than ours. I remember because he was saying that he paid like $1,000 for his, and I was like, well, how the fuck would mine was like $1,300? And he was like, yeah, but yours has the G-Sync, mine doesn't.
That's weird that's the difference. Yeah,
it's almost the same exact monitor, right? Because you can use FreeSync when you're using G-Sync. You can use FreeSync for it, but because it has the G-Sync tech, it costs $300 more. So I think this one that I'm looking at right now, the $900 one, is the one with the G-Sync because it says on here.
So the G-Sync, is that like what, NVIDIA tech or something?
Yeah, G-Sync is NVIDIA tech, and FreeSync is
AMD.
AMD, yeah.
Okay.
So right now, this one I'm looking at, I'll put the link in the chat with us here in the super secret chat here. And this one does have the G-Sync. And yeah, this one's $899, Gunny. And listen, Gunny, delivery by Saturday, March 30th. When the fuck is his birthday?
April 4th.
April 4th, bro. You just gotta hide it.
6th, yeah.
You just gotta hide it for 5 days somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Put it in your Jeep or something.
I know, right? Because now I'm going to talk lightly because he was talking about, I want a really good monitor, but I got to wait till I start working. So I'm like, might just surprise him with it.
Bro, I mean, honestly, to be real honest with you, this monitor is like the best monitor I've ever had. Obviously, it is the best monitor I ever had, but like, I don't see any reason to upgrade. Like, ever since I owned it, I've never had there's never been a real reason of why I want to upgrade. You know, like there's always before it was always like, oh, this monitor is too small. This monitor is too weird. The colors kind of suck. This monitor is whatever. This one though, I've had it for over a year now, and this monitor holds up, dude. Like it is a really good monitor, man. You know, like it's solid as fuck, dude. It's kind of heavy though. I'll be honest with you, it is kind of heavy, and it comes with a pretty big, heavy base. Wherever you're gonna put it, just know it's gonna take up quite a bit of space. Because yeah, so this one I think is the same one I have. Honestly, it's 35 inches or 34 and a half inches. So yeah, they're pretty big. They're pretty big, and it does have the super high refresh rate at 175, which is kind of hard to hit, to be honest. Because yeah, you're thinking 175, but my 1080p, but this is at 1440p.
Right.
On top of that, it is an ultra wide, so the screen is wider than normal. You know what I mean? So you get more, like, as opposed to looking at it on a regular monitor, you get more like edges on your games, right? Like if the game supports it, which most of them do nowadays, the game is wider, so it's more pixels are being rendered, more shit's being on the screen. So that does lower the frame rate a little bit. It's never like I've never played a game and thought, oh man, if I didn't have this stupid ultra wide, I'd be getting 20 more frames right now. Like I never thought that, but it looks good. In some games, it looks really good, man. Like there's games that I've played that I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. Like what the fuck's going on, you know? So, but yeah. But then there's also other little games that I've played, like I don't know, like stupid like little indie titles that are like early access and shit that I've played and they don't support ultra wide. So you got like these
Yeah,
black
yeah.
bars. So
Right.
that's kind of lame too sometimes, you know, like because I think sometimes you can fuck with that and like adjust it a little bit to like if you change the resolution and like kind of adjust it a little bit, you can kind of fuck with it. But sometimes if you do that, it kind of makes everything look pixelated or it makes everything look fucked up. So yeah. But anyways, man, I hopefully you get him something nice. I know you will. But happy birthday to Kyle. How old is he now? 17, 20,
Yeah, yeah,
25?
he'll be 18.
18?
Yeah, he'll be an adult.
18, Gunny.
He will be a man.
Gunny, you know what you should hand him? Some eviction papers.
I could, huh? Now I could, right?
Just like 18 years old.
Get
Happy
out.
birthday, son. Here's an eviction notice. You got 32 hours to get the fuck out of here.
Right? Take your little slow little laptop and go.
Yeah, here, we bought you some luggage to put your stuff in. Good
No
luck.
PC for you, pal. Right? And as I say this, as I'm sitting in his room with my
know.
Xbox playing Dragon's Dogma 2 and we're podcasting.
Yeah, you just tell him like, yeah,
They kick me out.
this is gonna become my podcast room. You're gonna have to get the fuck out of here now. Oh man, that'd be a funny prank.
But
Get your wife in on it.
but I do have like a little bit of update, Jesus. Well, it's not. It's more of a probably some. I'll give you guys the early news here, but that is that.
Oh,
So Jesus, as you know, we live in an apartment complex. The wife, manages the complex. So our apartment, Jesus, is probably going to be renovated soon. I don't know when that's going to be. So basically, I'll have to move into the buildings are real close, right? So I'll have to move in upstairs for. Now the wife says 30 days, right? I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit longer, right? Probably more than 30 days. It's probably going to be more
No.
like a month and a half, if I was to guess. So I don't know what the priority would be on that. So I'm thinking so one of the things the wife said was like, can we just leave like the Wi-Fi connected? Basically, right? That'd be the only thing. I think that would still be hard with construction work going on, ripping up the
Maybe.
floor and painting and all that crap. So it would probably be a thing where I'd have to come hook it up every day after the crew leaves, right? I'm like, yeah, basically, I think we're going to be without freaking Wi-Fi for 30 days, or longer, right? Because it's
Yeah.
not like we're going to transfer over, right? Even though we're talking about just feet. So that's going to suck, right?
I would say look into getting a hotspot on your phone.
That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking a hotspot temporarily for just buy 30 days of hotspot. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe like look at what your data usage is, like how much you use per month, like in internet wise, and then be like, all right, guys, we're gonna use a fucking either your phone for the internet, right, or hotspots. Like make sure you can maybe get away with using a hotspot for a month or two. Like
Yeah. And the company would pay for that. I'm sure that we'd get reimbursed.
just know that you probably won't be able to download any game with that hotspot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's going to use it all up. You know what I mean? Like a game is 50 fucking gigs. You'll use up those 50 gigs right there. So like you gotta look at like how much your some companies though, like whatever you have, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, whoever, some of them do offer like unlimited hotspots though. Like they can uncap it for a certain amount of money. They'll be like, yeah, we'll just uncap it for this month or whatever. You pay us this much extra.
Right.
You might look into that. That might be the best way to do it, honestly.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was going to tell the wife it's got to be unlimited. So
Who do you have? Do you have T-Mobile? Or
T-Mobile.
All right, T-Mobile has like this home. It's like a home hotspot thing. It's to replace your home internet. But this is the catch, Gunny. Okay, this is what you do, Gunny. You go to T-Mobile, right, and you tell them, "Oh, we're thinking about switching our internet providers. We're moving soon." You don't gotta tell them shit, right? Because they don't really know if you're moving or not. Just be like, "No, we're thinking about moving. Yeah, but like we heard AT&T has really good internet in that area, but we were thinking about your hotspot." And that's going to perk up their ears, right? Because they're thinking, "Oh fuck, this motherfucker's going to switch over to AT&T, then he's going to switch over all his phones. Now we're going to lose this big customer." And then you'd be like, no, man, but like, like, I don't know what to do. And they're going to tell you about this hotspot. And you're going to act like really dumb. You're going to be like, oh, what's a hotspot? What does that do? And you act really stupid. Like you don't know what the fuck is going on. Like you've never heard of a hotspot in your life. Okay. You act real boomer, Gunny. Okay.
Yes, I play a good boomer.
And then they tell you, well,
in real life.
sir, they're going to tell you, sir, for $50 a month, you can get this device and hook it up and it'll get you all the internet you need, blah, 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 super fast speeds. But you tell them, but like, I don't know if I want to invest $50 a month into this. Can I just try it out? Can I just test it? And they might let you be like, you know what? Since you're a good customer with a good standing with us, we'll let you test it for free for 30 days.
Hell yeah.
And then boom, you have free internet for 30 fucking days, Gunny. That's what you need right there.
Yes.
You tell the motherfucker, I want to test it, and then you test it. But you gotta act stupid. Yeah, like you don't know nothing. You know nothing. All you heard is AT&T got real good internet in that area. That AT&T is really fast, and they're so good. And they're gonna try to fight with you. Be like, no, sir, AT&T fucking sucks. Them fucking losers. Don't go with them. Try our hotspot thing.
And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it back after the 30 days. I'm going to walk in there and they're going to be like, you're returning. He goes, I'm basically just going to be like, I kept trying to turn the knobs on the device, but there's no knobs. They're missing.
And you tell them,
so it don't work.
You tell them, my kid wanted to play them Fortnites and this thing fucking sucked. So my
kid said there ain't enough kilobytes. There's not enough kilobytes on the thing.
He said something about the bites and that the machine was biting him. I don't want this thing in my house anymore. This thing don't work. And then you just return it. And then boom, you get it for free for a month. And then you got to try it. So you're good.
But in the meantime, I want to upgrade to the new iPhone. Thank you very much.
That's it, Gunny. That's all you got to do, man.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's definitely what we're going to do. So, because I can tell you the last time when we went to the Fiji Islands, your phone's like, even though you can put it in Wi-Fi mode, right?
Yeah.
And so the last time I went, actually, your phones actually work, which was kind of cool, right? That, I've been going for the last 20 years, but so yeah, we just bought like a free hotspot for 30 days. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Buy a hotspot, yeah. Take a fucking hotspot to the apartment. It looks just like a Xfinity router, but it has the T-Mobile branding on it. And you just plug it into the wall and it connects to the internet service. And then pretty much on the app, it lets you connect it's just like a Wi-Fi thing. It'll be like, here's your password, here's your network name, boom, 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 and you're set and you're good to go.
Yeah, it's pretty good service here. I want to say I get at least 2 to 3 bars, without using Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so it should be good. And it's going to be faster than your phone because it's like, I think it's a prioritized thing, you know what I mean? Where like they prioritize the routers over the phones, so the speed's a little bit faster on the router.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, maybe something to look into. But that's some life hacks from Jesus and Gunny listeners. Anyways, find me on everything as Jesus Walks a Lot. I'll be playing, like I said, on my hobo television. Even though I got a perfectly good OLED sitting in the fucking closet. I'll be playing some. I just thought about that. Like, really, that fucking OLED's just sitting there. Doing nothing, dude. Just sitting there.
Just bust it out. Be putting it on your lap. I'm playing it on the couch.
I was thinking that. I was just thinking that right now. That where can I set that wall temporarily? Where can I set it up tomorrow to play? My girlfriend's gonna fucking kill me when she comes up. What the fuck did you do?
It's sitting on 2 buckets or something. I'm gonna set
it up on top of the cat tree. Just on top of the cat tree, if I could have it right there sitting there. Yeah, the cat don't need to sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
The cat, fine. My TV needs to go there. Oh, it's going to be awesome. Anyways, we're out of here. Mayo, prepare Mayo. Apocalypse is coming. Prepare like the Mayo. I'm telling you, man. Listen, Mayo.
Get the bunker going.
The motherfucking, you need to be in a safe zone. Okay. You need to be at least 5 minutes away from any panic room, okay, that you may have set up, okay? If you haven't set up the panic room, I suggest you set up a panic room in the next day or two because you're going to need a panic room. Listen, man, shit goes down, all right, we'll activate ET and we'll send him over there to get you out, okay? ET will get your ass out of there. That motherfucker don't fuck around, okay?
Yeah, you played 7 Days to Die. There's a blood moon, right? There's a blood moon coming to Ohio. Get ready.
Moon, the fucking crazy eclipse, it makes people go nuts. crazy shit happens, the apocalypse might happen or something. Shit goes down. Government doesn't know what to do. We know what to do. We will send ET in, and ET will get the call and he'll answer. He's like fucking Batman, bro. He'll know what to do as soon as he gets the call. Okay, he'll know what to do.
Unpack your ammo and oil your guns.
Get fuel up the Camaro, man. You're gonna need that fucking car fueled up, and have like extra gas cans in the back of the fucker or something.
Get some jerry cans on there.
Yeah, tape gas cans to the side of the motherfucker or something. I don't know, man. Like, get your shit ready, bro. Like, it's gonna be fucked up over there. I wouldn't want to be there.
Don't be scared. Prepare.
Oh, that's a good slogan, Gunny. Don't be scared. Prepare. Anyways, right, everyone. Bye. We love you. We'll see you on the next edition of the Horrible Gamers podcast. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all have a good Easter. Happy Easter, Gunny. Hope you have a good Easter.
Easter's coming up? Wow. Okay.
Easter.
Cool.
Isn't it coming up? When the fuck? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Oh,
Easter,
you know what? The
Easter.
wife did she bought the Reese's eggs or whatever. So I think
bro.
that's coming up.
Yeah, the Reese's eggs have been in the stores for like weeks. So Easter's coming. Sunday.
I bought a bag. I'm prepared.
My girlfriend told me it's this Sunday. So it's Sunday. Easter's coming. Y'all know Easter is magical Easter rabbit bunny time shit. All right, listen. Rabbits and eclipses is a bad omen, dude.
Ooh, rabbits with red eyes. That's not a good sign, Mayo.
Mayo's gonna be walking in a cornfield, trying to look up at the fucking sun, thinking the eclipse is all cool in some cornfield, and he's gonna turn around, Gunny, and he's gonna be by himself, right when it goes dark. He's gonna be like, "Where the fuck my family go?" And he's gonna be like by himself in the cornfield. All of a sudden, everything's gonna go quiet, and he's gonna hear some rustling to the side, and he's gonna look over there, and there's gonna be a big man-sized rabbit with blood eyes looking at him, and he's gonna be stuck there, dude, in that cornfield.
And he's gonna be thinking, "I hope that thing don't got rabies."
Yep, and he's gonna run. And that's exactly how Mayo sounds when he's not on the show, guys. He sounds
Southern. I don't know why, but he does.
We know he's not from the South, but that's what he sounds like. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, we're out of here, everyone. Bye. Bye, Gunny.
Peace out, horrible people. See ya.